Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to coverage of the Northwest Racing Series, iRacing on LSRTV and on the Community Radio Network. Obviously a different type of setup than we usually have because our partner, usually in the production truck for our coverage, Charles Wooten, is on assignment for some other racing endeavors tonight. But we got our buddy John Muschin Jr. alongside in the broadcast booth. I'm Wesley Outland. We welcome you to coverage of the trucks from the Magic Mile, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and Mason Heimbaugh behind the scenes handling the production. We're ready to go. 175 laps, 175 miles as well for the Northwest Racing Series trucks here this Thursday evening. John, we saw a pretty wild race, an eventful cup race, of course, at New Hampshire, not to count also what we covered with Sim 500, and a longer distance, obviously. Cup race on Monday night with the double overtime. These trucks is a totally different animal than besides the next-gen cars. What do you think we'll see here is right now we're right in the middle of qualifying, bud?
Well, if what I saw when this truck was at New Hampshire in the official races is an indicator, it's gonna be a wild time tonight. I do not foresee this thing being a quick race. I'm gonna say it now. I'm predicting maybe about 6 cautions, buddy, at least.
Wow, you think we're going to have that many? We're going to play over under, right?
Well, it's just this truck is it's really finicky. I don't know what it is about this truck, especially even with open setups when you have a setup that you like. It just this track is so flat that for whatever reason, just this truck doesn't seem to like flat tracks. And it's got a lot of speed. People say, well, it's just like Martinsville. No, it's not really like Martinsville's a half mile. This thing's a full mile. And you get up to a intense amount of speed going down into a turn.
Certainly.
A lot of braking. And then this truck just kind of wants to scoot on out and break out of control real easy like. So, yeah, it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, and we welcome you to our coverage as well. For those that are also listening on the Community Radio Network, obviously the last 3 days we've been covering basketball, but it's good to be back for some iRacing coverage again here. Of course, our simulcasts on both CRN and iRacing on LSRTV. And you see qualifying on the top left of the monitor there, and you see right now where everything lies for the time being in qualifying. They got a little bit more time left on the clock before they get going for the race. And of course, now we're going to see what Carl Burke can do. Truck number 53. As all of this going on track right now.
They've got about 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, so we'll see if we can get these last 5 guys on there. Right now, 17 people have put down a lap. And Wesley, look at the top of the charts right there. Caden Anderson and Ryan Bloom, almost identical lap times, man.
Yeah, 29.86 to the 29.87 for Caden Anderson, Ryan Bloom right now. Super Friends, Cole Raz right behind him with a 30 flat. 30.03 for Casey Garber, fourth. Sean Brightsman, 30.13 as well. And again, cup race on Monday night went right down to the wire. They went into double overtime. They weren't even able to officially take that checkered flag because the caution came out in that second attempt of overtime. But let's take a look at the truck standings right now. Or me and John will give you kind of a scenario of it. Dennis Moore is currently the leader. He has a 6-point lead over Cole Raz. Paul Newton, 20 points back. 29 back is Caden Anderson. 55 back is Ryan Bloom. Sean Brightsman, 61 back in 6th. Kevin Smith is 7th, 67 back. 71 back is Tyler King, 8th. 9th is Dan West Jr., the 2-time defending Truck Series champion, 86 back. And 101 points back is John Ottenbacher. That's the way the points stand right now before they reset going into the round of 12. And what do you know there, John? Kevin Smith just put down a monster lap and goes to the pole.
That's crazy, man. An 82. I didn't think we'd see any sub 84s. That's the fastest I saw a couple weeks back in the official races. But wow, Smith with a 29.82. That's an amazing lap right there.
Yeah, that's a monster lap there for that driver of car number Yeah, here we go. 0-0. Kevin Smith, and updating some time and scoring here is right now we're watching some more qualifying happen. There goes Carl Burke coming across the line. We'll see where Burke ends up. Looks like it's going to be around 16th on the grid. Carl Burke, 30.88. Might have one more shot at it to try to improve on the back straightaway. As qualifying has just about a couple of minutes left before we get them gridded up. 175 miles, 175 laps. The distance as well here tonight, and it looks like Carl Burke will finish up and be 17th, 30.88, 30.88 if time and scoring is correct here. So all the while qualifying, here comes Tyler King in the American Touch-Up Pills Oranges, one of the drivers representing, of course, the Beaver State Clan.
Sorry, the what?
One of the Beaver State drivers.
Oh, that's right. Oregon is, yes. Okay, I kind of a little bit of a brain retirement right there. So they have advanced, by the way, to the race. The qualifying session is over.
Yeah, there is the look at the starting lineup. So we'll give you the starting lineup as the field is gridding. Walla Walla, Washington, Kevin Smith on the pole. And by the way, we have another producer handling the broadcast. That's why things look a little different than it usually is. Kevin Smith on the pole. Caden Anderson, row number 1. Ryan Bloom will make up row 2. Cole Raz on the outside. Row 3, we'll find Casey Garber, Sean Breitzman. In row 4, Paul Newton, the road course king in the 7, followed by Brian Reynolds in the 8. Dan West Jr., the 55, will start 9. Stephen O'Hare, the 41, your top 10.
Coming in 11th, Aaron Cooper. 12th, Toby Ritters is outside. Troy Daggett inside that row. Outside of him, Dennis Moore, Chris White in the 6th truck comes in 15th. Ron Hunter in the 22 truck comes in 16th. 17th will be Carl Burke in that 53. And to his outside, Dean Moore in the 33. 19th will be Tyler King, Frank Harris to his outside in the 11. Behind them, Tyler Kim in 21st. 22nd is going to be Chris Camry. Kind of a small field tonight there, Wesley.
Yeah, that's the starting lineup as they get ready to assemble here. Very fast grid as only 22 trucks are ready to go here around the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There you see our top 20 on the grid. It'll kind of scroll back and give you the run of everything, the way things are going. If you are looking at this this graphic with Mason Heimbaugh behind the camera on production, this is a kind of the way they've done the LTAC series. So this is the Northwest Racing Series trucks tonight, round 17. Give them a few more minutes to, or at least not minutes, a lap, patrolling around the racetrack before we do get ready to have them take off here. But there's the lineup, there's the setup. Kevin Smith will now roll. Caden Anderson alongside. And again, Monday night's Cup race, I'm telling you, John, it went green caution, green caution, green caution. 18 caution flags. And when it was all said and done, of course, a race that had to finish under the yellow flag. And then we done the Sim 500 race at Pocono, and that was pretty eventful, John, where drivers ran out of fuel coming off the last corner.
Oh, wow.
I mean, man, was it exciting or what?
I'll tell you what, that was one of the most exciting finishes I think we've seen in a while. And, I mean, we knew that somebody was going to run out of gas somewhere. We didn't expect it to be the leader about 200 yards short of the finish line.
So with that being said, the field will get ready to come down onto the pit lane. It's 175 laps here around the New Hampshire Motor Speedway on the Magic Mile. Pace car is in. They come to the Geico restart zone for the initial start. Green flag goes in the air. Round 17, Northwest Racing Series trucks underway. They'll send it to turn number 1. Caden Anderson jumps to the lead on the outside. John at a 2.
Anderson takes a nice lead coming out at 2 right there. He's going to have about 4 or 5 car lengths ahead of the guys. The rest of the pack 2 by 2 all the way back to the end of the line right there, really. So we're going to see if these guys settle in, maybe get single file and do some laps, or are we going to go right at it and start just bumping each other out of the way? We'll see here.
Yeah, we'll watch them coming out of turn number 4, cross the line. Lap number 1 is in. And it is Caden Anderson to lead the opening go. There you see Smith behind them there, along with Raz. All these trucks all in a pickle, all in a move off the tunnel turn. Making their way to the back straightaway. Got one dropping down below. It's going to be Sean Brightsman. I think Tyler Kim might have also had a problem in truck number 30 in the back. All the while, this all stays on. Clean and green, the field works out of 4.
We're going to watch these guys on exits, turns 2 and 4. That's where all the problems seem to be, Wesley, with any class of car we watch here, Xfinity Cup trucks, is exit on turn. Sometimes these guys just get on the throttle a little too hard. You can't do that at this track. It's so flat on exit. There's a bump on the exit 2 that'll reach up and slap you if you do that.
Yeah, we're watching all this racing going on in the back of the pack as it looks like now we see the number 6 machine. Chris White changing up his wrap job again in the top 10 in the Drake number 6 machine. Of course, behind him, Dennis Moore, Tyler King, all this going on in front of Aaron Cooper. That goes on as they're side by side down into turn number 1. White making a move down on the inside of Cooper as they work out of 2 to the tunnel turn.
Come off that tunnel turn right there. Oh, I just lost video.
Field works their way in that 3rd turn now as they'll work their way out of turn number 4. It's Anderson right now, the man that leads the way. Smith in that number 2 spot. Raz in 3rd. That all happening now for the top 3 as we continue to watch Daggett and King go at it for position. There's your leaders again, as we just mentioned. Coming off the tunnel turn to the back straightaway. Off of that turn 2, it's a very sharp angle. Of course, that tunnel turn there can really upset the vehicles of the cars or trucks that run at New Hampshire. They come off of the corner out of turn number 4. 5 laps in this time by. Still clean and green. You're on board now with, of course, the driver of Frank Harris, the legend, in his Ford number 11, trying to make some moves on Tyler King, Troy Daggett, and more, John, as they go to turn 1.
Yes, sir. I'm back. Sorry about that. Discord decided it needed to restart itself, so I am back. And oh, look at this contact. The 99 got loose off the corner, and Frank had nowhere to go. And 23 is going to be involved in as well.
More trucks involved as well. And the caution will come out for the first time. Let's take a look at the instant replay. By the way, in the past, Pulse Poppers was the title sponsor. They're no longer a part of our coverage, but look at this with Daggett, Ritters. What a tough break there for the driver of also Frank Harris. Multi-truck accident on the back straightaway, and you were on board with the 11 when it all broke loose there, John. Yellow out for the first time.
Yeah, we had a great view of that. So I wouldn't say a great view. There's nothing great about that when your race is interrupted that early. But we got a smoker here on track. That's going to be the 23 truck of Toby Ritters, and Ritters is not having a good night here. He had a rough weekend, rough week last week at Pocono, and it looks like it's just going to continue here for him. Yeah,
let's get another look at it another time, a replay there as you're seeing Ritters' truck now coming down. And we'll go back to our live feed here in just a moment as you see Ritters all smoking coming down pit road. All the while, a few more laps under the yellow flag before they reset them. Trucks that got damage coming in, either going to go on the time clock here, John, and take a couple of laps down, or in the early going for a fast repair.
They're going to use that one. Well, I mean, he had to have a choice, really. You don't want to go laps down here at New Hampshire because it's so hard to pass, especially if we have numerous yellow flags. There's no opportunity for you to work out, work yourself on a guy that's got bad tires or whatever. So, he did what he had to do. I mean, it's bad enough he's going to be starting in the back of the pack after that damage, but get that fast repair done and get back out there and be competitive.
Yeah, that's all you can do right now is, of course, that yellow flag out again. You see some more trucks coming down to the pit lane. Of course, Daggett getting some work done. So is Harris as well. And we're going to show it to you from another angle. It looks like one more time of what happened. And, of course, now we go back to our live feed. Lap number 8 of 175. Anderson is the leader. Kevin Smith in second. Cole Raz third, Ryan Bloom fourth, and Dan West Jr. your top 5. Reynolds, Garber, Newton, O'Hare, and Brightsman currently your top 10. And of course, course, that's the way that we rack them and restack them as we'll get ready to come back to the Geico restart zone next time around, and we will get ready to turn them back loose and go back under the green flag. We still have 8 laps completed of a 175 lap race. And one thing that they emphasized and promoted along the way for tonight's race, John, let's try to control the number of cautions. Let's not have a caution wreck fest here where it's going to take a long time to go 175 circuits.
Yeah, that was something they touched on during the drivers meeting, and I mean, I can get that. This is going to be, it's going to be hard enough to go around this track without wrecking each other. So you want to try and calm each other down. As the green flag comes out, Anderson back out. It's a nice start right there, but he didn't get as far as he did this time. He's got Raz right there on his tailgate.
Yeah, back underway. Restart off into turn number 1 and 2. Anderson will pull away about 2 truck lengths on Raz. There you go with that Super Friends analogy that we were told to keep an eye on tonight. Smith right there to third. Bloom, and here comes now Newton. 2 truck race wins on road courses for the 27. He now makes his run on Brian Reynolds and Stephen O'Hare. Chris White peeks to the inside. He'll carry Aaron Cooper on the bottom. Sean Brightsman up top as they go back into turn number 1 and 10 in.
Brightsman goes in the high side there on 1. That's actually the preferable place to be right now on this track, because right now the grip is all up there in that middle lane, high lane right there. So you want to watch Brightsman, these guys try to make some moves. Oh, somebody out of turn right there. Out of control coming off the turn 2. Couldn't see quite who that was. Meantime, back up here with this fight, the 27 truck of Newton. You've got White up in that picture, down there on the inside behind them, Brightsman, 71 of Cooper. All of these guys fight for spots here, Wesley.
So you're looking at the last lap speeds turned on the top ticker. And of course, the ticker on the top left to the bottom, scrolling down, is the full field rundown. You're on board now from the bottom of the front valence with the 71 of Aaron Cooper and his Chevrolet, who has done really well the last month in racing. So impressed with the drive he's got for the driver I call Bug Eyes. He now has Paul Newton in his sights, Chris White in front of them, along with O'Hare. This battle heats up again as they go back to turn 1.
As we ride along with what I call the Days of Thunder shot, going down through the turns, man. That's something that they use a lot of in Days of Thunder. Remember that? But, man, that was a great shot. Meantime, it looks like these guys are going to be singling out. Oh, another truck out of shape off of turn 2. Wesley, I called it, man. It's just these trucks are so easy to break loose on exit of these turns.
Yeah, that was Chris Camary in the 15, and what a save he made to keep himself in that number 19 position. Obviously, Toby Ritter's trying to pick up where he left off after he got involved in an accident just about less than 10 laps ago to put us under the yellow flag around lap number 5 and 6. He had to take a fast repair. Now he's trying to come from the back of the pack. He sits in the 22nd position, I believe, right now on the racetrack, and all that going on now is Harris also involved in that last wreck, trying to get around Hunter as they work out of turn number 4.
Coming off turn number 4 right there. On the outside, you got Hunter. On the inside, you got Harris. Harris was involved in that earlier wreck. It happened literally right in front of him when 99 broke loose there. Meantime, you're talking about Ritter's. He's up to 21st right now. He's passed 1 truck since the restart. He's going to want to take it easy, Wesley. You covered it a minute ago. He's already used his 1 fast repair. So if he gets any more damage tonight, it's going to be pit crew hammers and stuff like that on pit road for him.
Yeah, a lot of work going to be done on the machines there as 14 laps are completed with Anderson still that leader. Look at Camary and Ritter's going at it now. 23 down to the inside. That's a run now, trying to get back in to, well, I think actually checking now time and scoring. Believe it or not, Toby Ritter's is still on the lead lap. Troy Daggett 1 lap down, so if the caution was to come out, you could put Troy Daggett back and put all the trucks back on the lead lap. But all the while, a fierce battle going on between these trucks as they work their way back around the corner.
Back around the corner indeed. Now these guys are open setup racers. What that means is they can make some adjustments to these trucks as the race goes on. We should be seeing the first pit stop, Wesley. I want to say, I don't recall off the top of my head how long they can go on fuel. But you know, basically when they get in there, they can adjust these trucks, tire pressures, spring shock, stuff like that, to loosen or tighten them up as they feel necessary.
Yeah, all of this excitement going on again here at the tricky, of course, Magic Mile here. That is the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And by the way, you got 3 sets of tires plus the one they started on, 1 fast repair. And by the way, incident counts. We're going to keep up with that. Incident counts, 16 incident points. You get a black flag. 20 is your second black flag. If you go over 24 or more, then John, you're parked. There's a black flag and your race is done, or they call the meatball flag. You're out of the race.
Yeah, it's not cool either. And I mean, you get a penalty after you hit 16 points. Every 4 points you get is going to be a penalty, which is where they I think they park you for a lap, wasn't it? So you got to be real careful here. And I mean, we got a few trucks already with 4X.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, you go on a penalty for 1 lap on the first one, and then the second time you go on like a 3-minute penalty. And then, of course, when you come back out that last time, you get over 24 damage points or more, then they say, okay, you're parked and you're done. So There is the driver of Kevin Smith sitting in the number 3 position. Reynolds behind him, as well as Chris White. This is going on for 7th, 8th, and position as they work their way back off the tunnel turn out of turn number 2. And right now things kind of got quiet as they are side by side as they work their way into turn number 3 now.
So I was talking about pit stops a minute ago. We're looking at about 70 to 75 laps on fuel. So it's definitely going to be at least a 2-stop race tonight. So we'll probably look for these guys to come in after the full fuel run if they can make it last that far. Now the question is tire wear. And I'm looking at, oh man, you're talking about almost a second half of loss of tire wear down over 20 laps. So if you go 70 laps, you're looking at some pretty slick race trucks on the surface there. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes this first time if they stay green.
Yeah, on the surface of things, everything looks all right for now, but of course, everything can change. And I'm thinking, honestly, John, obviously, you know, smaller fuel cells, engine packages than on the next-gen car. Hold on, Sean Breitzman, you're on board with him. He about lost it right there as 44 Dennis Moore down to his inside. One of those Beaver State Racing drivers in the 44 Moore speed entry. And, man, that was just in the cockpit on board with Sean Breitzman. He saved that car from going around in the 46, John. Wow. Did
an amazing job. We saw his hands in there really working that wheel left and right, trying to get that truck to catch some grip there. As we watch him now, he's got a definite fight on his hands with more in that 44 truck. Sean's actually up there where you want to be. That's just, the truck seems to operate so much better up there in the highline. As the 44 is going to force his way in front of him there and move more up to 12th place. Breitzman back to 13th. Sean's just trying to hang on right now, I'm sure, until his next pit stop where he can make some adjustments.
Yeah, we were hoping to have Greg Rentz back with us tonight. Unfortunately, he is getting everything back fixed up and ready to go. And he said, guys, just give me 1 more week and I'll be ready to come back here for the next race. So, yeah, I think it's Indianapolis. All next week, we're at Indy for Sim 500 and Northwest Cup and Truck on Thursday night for iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network coverage from the Brickyard. As right now we watch these drivers hit the back straightaway. That's Dennis Moore under attack by Sean Breitzman. This continues in the middle of the pack. We're coming up on lap 25, and we're also watching now Hunter and Harrison Kim battle for position. That goes on to the top 20 in the back.
Yeah, some single file racing all around the track right now. Like I said, I figured these guys would calm down a little bit, try to figure out how this truck's going to react. The track temperature right now, as we're watching these guys go round and round, is, let's see, it's 85 degrees. That's not too bad. They should have plenty of grip out there.
Yeah, again, usually we're used to like giving you all the scenario. Well, there it is right there. Okay. Sim time. Just after close to 2 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, no, my apologies. What is it, 17:57? Ain't that like
it's
4 o'clock?
Nope, that's 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's close to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Wind speed comfortable, of course. Track temp. Keep an eye on that. Cloudy skies, 85. Look out. Is that, I think that was the truck of Dean Moore. Yeah, we were talking about Dennis Moore. Dean Moore with a problem. I don't think we got a yellow, though. I think we're still good. Good. No caution.
Yep, stay green. Going to put him way behind the field there, but you know, the good news is he didn't hit anything either. He was able to lock those tires down, get that truck stopped before he ran into any inanimate objects out there on track, and it stays green. Now, downside was he slid a long way on those tires there, Wesley, so that's going to definitely kill the tire wear for him over the long run.
Hey, and here's another thing as well. We just saw that happen just where the last caution took place in the race, the one and only yellow, and that's right off of that tunnel turn out of turn number 2 going to the back stretch.
Like I said, that exit right there, man, there's a bump, and if you hit it just right, your vehicle is going to go away on you. It's a promise, especially if you're already in the throttle, or if you're in the throttle too much, more than you should be. Very easy to lose control right there.
But no caution for Dean Moore, as we're about over 25 laps into this race now, working lap number 28 completed. It's Anderson, Raz, Bloom, West, Smith, West, Garber, Reynolds, White, O'Hare, Cooper, your top 10. There goes Newton and Brightsman going at it again. This is for the Dirty Dozen spot as they go down into turn 1.
Down turn 1, Brightsman on the inside, the 27 on the outside of Newton. Getting a little close right there. Going to spray each other. We watched these guys fight earlier. Actually, it was Brightsman giving up one to Moore earlier, but now he's under fire from Newton in that 27 truck, and looks like keep pushing each other's numbers here. On exit right here, Brightsman's going to pull ahead just a little bit. Let's see if he can close the deal here.
Trying to close that deal as they work their way back across the start-finish line. Another lap on the board here at the Magic Mile as we continue to see Newton and Brightsman battle. All this happening down the back straightaway. Toyota in Ford. Toyota, the Brightsman, Ford, Newton. He's got 2 wins this year. Of course, the driver that we call the road course king. He's won on road course events, including Sonoma and Road America. As all the while, here come the field coming off turn 4, back to start finish, and it is again 30 laps completed here. Had that one yellow flag about 5 laps into it. After that, things have settled in. Got this long green flag run going on for about close to 25 laps. And John, to be honest with you, this is exactly what they've got to do, because this is a pretty long race here tonight. A lot of people don't realize, but the Northwest Racing Series truck program is in its 9th season. The Northwest Racing Series Monday Cup program in its 3rd season. So there's a little bit more accolades, if you will, and kudos given to the drivers in the truck program. I look at that as the big high caliber division of the Northwest.
Indeed they do. I tell you what, let's talk about some lap times real quick, Wesley. Now I'm looking at our leader, Caden Anderson. After that really fast caution, well, his first lap of the race, 30.1 was his fastest time. Last time by, a 30.9. So he's actually doing a lot better than I would have thought on tires right now. So he's got him. We have, I guess we call that a great neutral setup. It's not loose, it's not tight, so he's not wearing those tires down at all, and his lap times have stayed really, really consistent. So if the rest of the crowd follows the suit, I mean, we could see these guys go the full tank of fuel, 70 some odd laps on one set of tires. That's gonna be interesting to watch. Yeah,
I figured it was going to be around about a 45, 50 lap run here before we have to throw have the guys coming in making these green flag pit stops. And by the way, the only trucks that pitted earlier were the ones that were involved in the accident there on the back straightaway. It was like Harrison Ritters and those trucks. Other than that, everyone else in the front and doing what they need to do. Here's the thing, John. Caden Anderson had such bad luck on Monday in the Cup Series, just like the week before at Pocono, and then he turns around and he won at Pocono last week in the trucks. And I say this, he struggles in the Cup car here lately, but then he turns around Thursday night and he lights it up on everybody when he runs the truck program. As now we look at the Built Ford Tough 11 of Frank Harris. But again, Anderson showing right now he's the head super friend on Kel Raz at the moment.
yes indeed, you're right, man. He you told me about his race at Pocono last Monday, and then last Thursday night he came into in the trucks at Pocono and just blasted the field and won that race. Tonight he starts up front and he's still up front, and he's pushed out to about a 1.5 second lead over Raz. So wow, I mean, he's getting it done. He's doing what he needs to do out there.
Yeah, all of this going on as we are continuing to watch. Now we got a caution.
Uh-oh.
Yellow flag is out somewhere on the speedway.
Right there.
Brian Reynolds, I believe, truck number 12. There he is, bottom of the infield grass off the back straightaway. And the Jack Daniels Chevrolet number 12 of Brian Reynolds will put us under the yellow flag for the second time today here at New Hampshire. Here's a look at our instant replay, and you can be able to assess what happened here, John.
Looks like he's a little high right there. He's on that seam. Comes off. It was already loose right there. Look at that. Just got that throttle too hard on two.
And what again? Right off that tunnel turn. We mentioned it again.
That is our danger zone tonight, buddy.
Right off the tunnel turn, and that is exactly what happened for the driver of that number 12. So there you go. We're under the caution flag yet again. As I believe we're 36 laps in now, 37 when they come to the line.
And we should see everybody pit right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well, John. I'm thinking everybody's going to come to the pits for sure. And we'll cover these pit stops, and we'll step away for a quick radio commercial timeout as well, as again caution coming out for the driver of the number 12 of Brian Reynolds. Let's go back to on-track activity here once we show you one more time what happened to him there, as he just lost it down the backstretch, and now we'll catch the toe of everyone. We're thinking everybody's going to pit. I got a feeling that's happening as well.
Oh, what happened to our leader?
Wow. Here comes everybody in the back of the pack coming.
Speeding penalty, 37, Caden Anderson.
Wow. Speeding penalty, EOL given to the driver of Caden Anderson, as you see the rest of the tail end of the field coming to the pit lane here. Is this live? Okay, we're seeing, okay, I'm understanding we're still on delay right now before we go back to the live feed. So anyhow, John, you got some more information on Caden Anderson in the speeding penalty. That's heartbreak here in the early going for him.
Well, yeah, he's going to the back. I don't know if it was entry or exit. It looked like it might have been exit. I'm checking the replay now. He was I mean, he was right there in the second box. And the 00 slid through his pit, so he lost a couple of spots on pit road as well.
So another penalty there. Now we're back to our live coverage. As there is the, looks like some trucks did not pit. Looks like it's a Daggett. I think he's going to take the wave around and go back on the lead lap, obviously, whenever they get the opportunity to pass the pace car. Cole Raz is the man that is now the new leader in the 10. Dan West Jr. in second. Ryan Bloom third. We'll step away and take a quick commercial break. We are also at the top of the hour for those that are listening on CRN coverage of the Northwest Racing Series of iRacing from New Hampshire's Magic Mile. We'll pause for 10 seconds of network identification. And for those that are watching, we'll return iRacing on LSRTV in just a moment.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in indoor series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars, and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone, and the Nürburgring. In iRacing's global online racing, and get on track today at iRacing.com.
As that commercial comes to an end with iRacing coverage, pace car drops onto the pit lane. Green flag back out here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we're understanding another driver got busted with an EOL penalty for speeding. John, you got more details.
Yeah, Kevin Smith, the 00. Not only did he get busted speeding, he slid through his pit stall as well. So a horrible pit stop for him. Also, our race leader, Caden Anderson, got himself a speeding penalty also, entry. Both those guys, I think, were clocked doing almost 60. The speed limit's 45, so ouch.
Wow, that is big speeding penalties for those guys. I mean, that's definitely not even trying to say, hey, I'm innocent. there's
Yeah.
no
no
appealing
fighting
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In their defense, though, it's so tricky getting on a pit road here at New Hampshire because you come off of 4 right onto pit road, and I mean, there's little to no warning that you're coming into pit road. The line is right there, right as pit road's wall starts. So some tracks there's a huge cushion right there, and you come off. Oh, we got Sean Brightsman out of shape on the front stretch.
Sean Brightsman, 46. And he has fell back all the way to 13th, but somehow again he saved it. That's the second time he's had that truck fighting and almost going around for him. He saved it, no yellow. And look at this gaggle of traffic going in front of him. There's Tyler King, Frank Harris. That all goes on for position. Dennis Moore, the points leader, right there in front of him as well, as this works off of turn number 4.
The whole gaggle of cars right there. You got King there in the 21. Look, Anderson making some
try to go
quick
3
work
wide.
to the field. He's wow.
He thought about it.
I mean, he's not wasting any time at all. He's got fresh rubber on this truck, and he's taking advantage of as he can, getting as many positions as he can, as quickly as he can. And this will be fun to watch him come through the field. I mean, he's already up to 10th. He restarted 22nd, man. That's insane.
You got to wonder, John, if there's obviously there's got to be some frustration for the driver of Caden Anderson, but he's also got to get back through the field and get back to the front. But here's the thing, his truck is so strong. If he takes his time, be patient. There's still a lot of this race left to go. I mean, what is there, 130 laps remaining, I believe? I mean, be there at the end, and the old cliche, to first win the race, you must first finish. Anderson's got to be there at the end, and you just see how he took that penalty, came to the back. He is flying through the field. He's up to 9th after being put to the tail, and obviously Kevin Smith still stuck mired in the top 20 and 16th.
Yeah, I'm guessing Caden doesn't have anybody in his ear talking to him. Whoa, who is that way out of shape back there in the back? The 15 truck, man, he came very close to putting that truck in the wall. So to see him go down like that, that was just correcting to keep his truck off the wall. He was way out of shape. But as I was saying, I don't think Caden's got anybody whispering in his ear right now, hey, man, take it easy. We got plenty of time to get back to the front, because he is on a mission. I mean, he's already fighting for 8th spot right there. He gets around the 71 of Cooper, sets his eyes now on the 27 of Newton, and he's just wasting no time here, buddy. He's going.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Harris down to the inside. Reynolds up on the top side. King will follow. All of this happening down to the bottom of the racetrack, but now Dennis Moore, the points leader, Sean Brightsman. They've hooked up. This is in the top 15. And we've been watching this battle now intently for the last 5 laps or so since the restart to wonder if they're going to try to stick it 3 wide. And look who's now popping into the dogfight. Here comes Walla Walla Washington's Kevin Smith in the 00. And all this going on as Reynolds crashes. He slams into Smith. The points leader, Dennis Moore, is caught up in it. Everybody checking up on the binders. Engine blown on the 12. And the caution out for the 3rd time.
Oh, yeah, a lot of damage on that Jack Daniels Chevy Silverado. And here we go with the Pulse Poppers replay.
My, oh my.
He just got loose.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds smacked the wall, fishtailed, hit the safer wall barrier again. Nowhere to go, obviously, for Dennis Moore, who bounced it off the wall. He kept going. Frank Harris got some damage. A couple of other trucks got meleeed in it. And then they're able to scamper along. And there you see also the 12 pull away. A lot of damage, and the engine expired on the number 12. Damage repair, fast repair coming for the number 12 immediately here on lap number 50.
And that's if he checked it. Don't forget, sometimes people forget to check that thing. Oh, he got it. Yep, he's back. There he goes. I like that paint job.
Yeah, Jack Daniels, Chevrolet.
Not just that, but if you look at it, it's got white stars on it, so it's kind of almost a patriotic.
Yeah, stars and stripes. It's kind of got that that kind of, if you will, we got the American flag on the tailgate, obviously.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
It's nice.
How about Caden Anderson up to 7th? I mean,
I told you. Yeah.
It's like he got a rocket pack on the back of that truck, man.
Troy Daggett gets the free pass again, or the wave around. The heat comes roaring past the pace car. And And if I remember correctly, it looks like this is going to put everybody back on the lead lap here, the 22 starters. So everybody back in the game again here, John Mushton Jr.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, too, to get that lucky dog, get back up there. Daggett, of course, involved. I think he was involved in the very first incident we had tonight, and he got his damage repaired and went a lap down. But now he's back in the game. He's going to be up there competing for spots now. So we'll see if he can take advantage of that. And man, I tell you what, we got a restart coming up here that I really would like to keep our eye on. The 37, if we can, of Caden Anderson. Watch what he does, see how long it takes him to get back to that lead, if indeed he can get past Raz when he gets up there.
I'll say this much, Raz has showed that he can have the intent of being up in the front and being competitive also. Dan West Jr., the driver, of course, the two-time defending series champion, 2 wins on the year. The driver to Shelton, Washington, has got himself in a pretty good spot right now, sitting in position number 2. So, as it stands right now, be patient. And by the way, no wins. He's got Cup wins for DWJ in the Cup Series, but not for the trucks. So that could be a way to turn things around here. As I mentioned, some excelling in another part of, where in the past they've excelled and done well in the trucks. Now they're doing well in Cup. And then if Cup, many are struggling, like Caden Anderson, like you mentioned, in 7th, but then he gets in the truck and he's just like absolutely hauling the mail and being one of those guys you can watch every night. Lights off on the pace car. We'll try to go back to green this next time by.
Hey, who's your pick for tonight there, Wesley?
The one that crosses the finish line first. Oh man, I would honestly say here, of the 22 trucks here, there's probably 10 that I could say probably have a legitimate shot to win this race. I think you want me to say Anderson. But, I'm going to go with Chris White. Chris White just knows this racetrack very well. He knows Indianapolis. I think the guy's the sleeper right now, kind of playing patiently, is going to be Chris White. Probably I just jinxed him, no crash.
I'm going to be sentimental and pick an underdog, Kevin Smith, just because he runs a 0-0 like I do.
Yeah, he's got a couple of wins this year. I mean, Kevin Smith is no slouch on the truck program. He sits 7th in the standings, 2 wins this year with 2 poles for the driver out of Walla Walla, Washington. So that's a good, solid pick. Green flag goes back in the air on lap number 52. Closing in on 125 laps remaining. Gaggle of trucks off the tunnel turn. On board, Caden Anderson. Will and Dylan fighting, somehow clawing. And he files thrown into turn number 3 to try to get around some more trucks. He's on the inside. Look out, Ryan Bloom. You got some help behind you out of 4.
6 truck of White there.
Chris White.
Dragon 8. Yeah, we're widely on board with Caden Anderson. He is all over the back bumper of that 6 truck. It looks like he's going to try him down here on the inside of turn 1. And man, I'll tell you what. Look at that.
Wow. Look at this. Maybe he's trying to stick it 3 wide again. They're going to say the Garber truck, number 94. Another machine down up there on the outside lane. Bloom on the bottom, the 2021 ARCA Northwest champion. And they're door to door now, coming off of that turn out of turn number 4 down. And of course, Anderson will now move his way to 5th. And now he looks on Bloom as they cross the line, going back to turn number 1.
He's going to duck it down to the inside of Bloom as we go down into 1 here. That 25 truck up on the outside there. Anderson trying to make quick work of this. Wants to clear him as soon as possible. Coming off 2. Watch this tunnel turn bump. Make sure it doesn't catch anybody off guard right there. Still going down the backstretch. Still fighting on the inside is Caden Anderson.
Yeah, really good racing right now. Caden Anderson, of course, now here comes a battle for the lead. Look at this. Dan West Jr. making the move on. He hit the wall. He hit the Geico restart zone retaining wall. And by doing so, Ras gets the spot back again. They flip-flop these spots one more time. Could we see a crossover as they work out of turn number 2 to maybe become a slide job? No, cannot get there. It is Anderson now falling back into the clutches of 3rd. And we got a truck getting sideways. Chris Camary, top right, spinning, losing, overcorrecting, going around. Everyone on the binders. Caution out for the 4th time here at New Hampshire.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know who wanted to see that, but I can tell you who didn't want to see that. That would be Raz in that 10 car. Finally cleared West after West grazed that wall, was looking to set sail. Caution comes out. We're going to rack him and stack him one more time here, Wesley.
Yellow flag out again. Of course, Chris Kamari. And I'm gonna say it again, but I'm sure you'll catch on to what I say. Yellow flag where again? Off that tunnel turn.
Off turn
in
two.
turn number 2.
It's one of the trickiest places. To me, honestly, turn 2 is the trickiest place on this track. That tunnel turn, there's a dip and a bump right there. Right as you, if we could get a blimp shot, I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. As these guys are good. Are they going to get a pit road? Oh, no, playing some mind games. But West does. West probably has some damage he wants to get fixed. But as we ride here in the blimp, I'm going to show you here, Wesley, what I'm talking about as we come through turns 1 and 2 right now. And I'm guessing you've probably never driven any simulated or real laps around New Hampshire. Am I right?
I've been to New Hampshire Motor Speedway before, but no, I've never raced on the racetrack. You know.
All right, so here's your
Wait
tunnel.
a minute. Does it count? Does it count actually going into the tunnel, into the pits, like with the rental car? Does that count?
Sure.
Well,
So what I'm going to say is that second to last set of dashes up there, where you see that at, that's where that dip and bump are at. And it's, I guess somebody told me once that's when they built the tunnel underneath the track right there, and they resurfaced the track and all that. There was some settling right there, so it made a nice little bump. And if you catch that thing just right in the right phase of throttle input, it's going to throw you. I don't care what car you're driving, it's going to throw you. And I can imagine that new Cup car, and we know how ridiculously loose that thing can be when it's hitting bumps. I imagine it does not like that bump at all.
Well, we saw how interesting New Hampshire was the other night,
Yeah.
or the other day for sure. So Pocono definitely did not disappoint as well. So adapting to these new next-gen cars, and of course the trucks, totally different animal.
Look who's in third, dude.
Yeah, Anderson's back. He's right up there. Bloom with him, and I'm gonna tell you, Dan West Jr. 55. Where did he end up? I think he pitted.
Yeah,
he pitted. Check out the damage on where he smacked the wall on the front straightaway, coming to the Geico restart zone, and he falls all the way back to 10th row, 20th position.
Yeah.
Along with Kamari. Caution out, about to wrap it up here. This will be lap number 59 when they come back to the green flag. The pace car will drop onto the pit lane here from the Geico restart zone. A couple of the white and black trucks right there alongside of each other with Cole Raz and Casey Garber. Looking strong for him, along with Caden Anderson, Ryan Bloom, Chris White, and Stephen O'Hare, your top 6. It's Newton, Cooper, King, and Ritters. How about Ritters having problems earlier? Back into the top 10. Green flag back in the air here in New Hampshire. They'll send it off from the sky view from the top of the tower cam in turn 1 and 2.
Raz gets a great start. He clears everybody. Anderson clears Garber in the 94 truck. So move Anderson up to second now, setting his sights on Raz. In the meantime, still 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back to the field here. A lot of guys looking to get a couple of spots here before we settle in and go back to single file racing for a little while. See the 6th truck right there, Chris White up the 5th.
Yeah, all this happening as they work their way back across the start-finish line now with Raz and Anderson. Well, super friends back up there in 1 and 2. Garber now under attack by Ryan Bloom. Behind him, another gaggle of traffic fighting with some trucks. Tailgate to tailgate to tailgate. One getting sideways. Bonsai, that's Frank Harris. He'll hold on to it. No caution. Right around Chris Kamari and Troy Daggett. This battle goes on to the top 5 into turn 4.
Look at the 6th truck of White down there on the inside there. O'Hare on the outside. 41 truck. Looks like he might get by the Chris White truck. Maybe not. Meantime, these guys are just swapping places here up in the 6 and the 41. Back and forth as we go through these turns. It looks like finally White, that 6 truck's going to make clear. We got another truck out of shape coming off 2.
That was Kevin Smith in the 00, your pick. Having a problem, and he's fighting an ill-handling truck right now. We'll save it. And now he's getting bypassed by Ron Hunter up on the outside. Also, a couple of other trucks like Tyler Kim coming after him. They're side by side right there. Boy, I thought Kim was going to door slam the 00, but he does do just that as they go to turn 1. And meanwhile, Ritters is going for 2 for 1 to crack the top 8.
Ritters making a great comeback after his early involvement in an incident. We saw right there Smith's rear end just kind of swing out a little bit. He came, got it back under control right there. He clears that truck behind him there and sets his sights now on Sean Bryson up there in the 46 truck.
Toby Ritter's battling back into the top 10. There's Kevin Smith. And look at this battle now with him and Sean Breitzman. That's in front of also Tyler King. That was that 2-for-1 special that Clifford, a.k.a. Toby Ritters, was trying to go after for. He's also got Kevin Smith right there in his clutches. As this goes on, they go to turn number 3, lap 64 complete this time by.
Lap 64 in the books. We got Sean Breitzman making some great moves here. Trying to work his way back up inside the top 10. He's in 10th right now. Trying to work his way further up there, get past King. In the meantime, behind him, you got that 00 truck of Kevin Smith trying to get around Ritters in that 23 truck on the outside. Hey, look up front, man. Anderson has kind of maintained right where he was at on the second place there on the back door of Raz. Hasn't really made any moves on him yet. You can see what happens here next couple laps.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that as they work their way back again. Raz, Anderson, Bloom, Garber, White. There you see now Breitzman and the machine of King going at it for position. This is, by the way, for 9th and 10th. And I'll tell you, John coming fast up through the field. Dan West Jr. in the 55, quickly clearing by Ritters and Kevin Smith. The West Racing 55 of the 2-time and defending Northwest Series truck champion is on a rail.
Yes, he is. He also stopped and when he got the damage fixed, he took on 2 tires. He took on a set of tires, I should say. And that's going to put his tires about 20 some odd laps newer than everybody around him. So that's going to give him a little bit of advantage for a little while. And he is taking full advantage of that advantage. See what I did there?
I did. I caught the segue. Pardon the pun. All the while, here comes now King sideways. Yes. King a little bit loose. Here comes now West on the outside. He'll battle there. Kevin Smith down to the inside as well. All this going on for position. As Kevin Smith now trying to reel him back in as they work out of turn number 4. No change in that spot just yet as they flash across the start-finish line. All of this great racing going on for position. Wow. All in. Look at this now. Wow.
He just sent it, and it stuck. That's got to feel good.
Yes, he did.
New tires, man. I mean, it feels so good when you can send that truck in there like that. It sticks. In about 10 laps, he ain't going to be able to do that, I promise you.
And it's one of those scenarios of, hey, even though I'm off the pace, even though I might have had a penalty, I'm still able to compete. I'm still able to do what I'm doing, and that's exactly what he's doing right now as they flash back across past start-finish into turn number 1 here at the Magic Mile. And look on board now. This is on board with Dan West Jr. shifting. You're exactly right, John. Look at this. Oh! Hold on there, and guess where that was out of the exit of? Tunnel turn 2.
But you know what? I didn't realize these guys were shifting down. What that does is that helps the truck turn. It makes the truck loose, believe it or not. And that's what's happening to these guys. They're shifting down to 3rd gear, and when they hit that bump, throttling up out of 2, this truck is light. Oh wow! Watch this. Here it goes again. Shift down. Boom.
Making that move down to the inside. He's got Stephen O'Hare up on top. Look at the way he negotiates, fighting that truck there off of 2 for DWJ, Dan West Jr. And all the while.
That's awesome driving, though. Wesley, I cannot state that enough. That is an awesome job driving when you can. This is a flat track, so you're doing a lot of steering as you go through these turns. So he's going into the turn, braking, downshifting, steering, throttle control, coming up on the throttle, shifting back up, steering. I mean, it's just amazing. It's fun to watch. Oh, but he's got a shift right there.
Yeah, look at that. Dives down to get off the tunnel turn attitude to make the move on Stephen O'Hare. And he about had his back end come out from under him here. Wow.
And all that looseness right there that you saw, that wiggle that he had coming off of 2, all that's doing is heating up and eating up that right rear tire. That's going to hurt him later on.
Working their way back out of turn number 4. Here comes Breitzman now, trying to size up Newton for this spot. This is for 8th and 9th. Give him the position. The Brights Boutique entry, number 46, 2020 Cup Series champion. And we got a yellow flag. Caution is out. Trouble on the speedway, and it's Ron Hunter who is 8th offense in the 22, 5th yellow flag of the race. SDK had to reset for the caution ticker, and there's actually 2 before that, so it's actually now the 5th yellow flag here, just as we approach
he had help.
lap 75, John, and coming up on 100 to go here.
Yes, sir. And watch this. He wasn't alone.
He had oh wow, Dean Moore.
He got cleaned out, man.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to do it. I just, maybe drove in there a little too hard going into the exit of turn 1 and going into the exit of the straightaway going to turn 1, and just kind of hit the left rear, bonsai'd the 33 there. And I'm looking at it again, and yeah, he just kind of got down there a little too hard and just hooked the left rear. Right there, exiting the straightaway, going back into the corner. Definitely somewhere you don't want to hit somebody at, but that's what happened, John. We're in the yellow flag for 5th yellow of the race.
Let me tell you why I didn't race. I raced one race at New Hampshire when the trucks were there in the official series. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't race anymore. You ready?
Yeah.
I missed. See, I got a new set of pedals, so I've got a gas and a brake and a clutch now. Okay. So for a while, I've only ridden with gas and brake. Well, that first race in New Hampshire was my first race with that clutch pedal. I went to, hit the brakes going into the turn and didn't. I hit the clutch instead and just wiped out 3 guys in front of me doing that exact thing.
Oh, so you felt bad after doing it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
We have pit stops, man. A lot of guys went in, but look at this. We had 6 guys stay out.
Yep. Look at that. Dan West Jr. is one of them, John. He did not pit.
Well,
Wrightsman, Ritters is up to 3rd. Moore and Cam top 5.
Wrightsman stayed out. He's got 30-lap tires almost. Ritters has stayed out. Dennis Moore stayed out. Kim stayed out. And it looks like Troy Dackett stayed out too. Troy just got back and went, he's in the pits now. He decided to come in now and go ahead and get things fixed.
And as I mentioned, we're coming up on 75 laps completed here. Next time around, it'll be 100 laps to go in this 175 lap contest of virtual man and machine for the trucks. And I'll tell you what, John, hard to believe the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, which, by the way, it was announced this morning that they are no longer returning as a entitlement sponsor after, close to a decade or more?
Yeah.
Marcus Lemonis said, hey, I'm kind of not agreeing with the way things are going, and it's time for us to part ways and go another direction, and that was a big shocker. But the playoffs start tomorrow night at Lucas Oil Raceway, Indianapolis. I was thinking about it, looking at my notes and just thinking of things, and I was like, holy cow, the NASCAR Truck Series playoffs are already about to get underway.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, man.
Yes, sir. They're down to their final 10 races of the year.
And they're going to be at IRP to start off. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad that they finally got NASCAR back at IRP. And I think a little bit more time, you're going to see the Indy cars or the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which, by the way, the Xfinity and Cup cars are going to be there at the Brickyard this weekend. And by the way, John, with the IndyCar series, first time ever, IndyCar
yes, that's a big
and
deal.
NASCAR together. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes.
I heard a rumor. Speaking of title series for the Real World Truck Series, I heard a rumor that it's going to be Craftsman Truck Series one more time.
There is negotiations.
Yes, they have been talking
possibly
to Craftsman.
Bring back Craftsman. But if it does happen, they're talking about calling it the NASCAR Sears Truck Series, not Craftsman.
No!
So it would be Sears. It would be Sears, the entity company that is Craftsman's head alpha male, if you will.
No.
The NASCAR Sears Truck Series.
No,
it doesn't sound right, does it? It's coming back to green. We're back to green for the Northwest Racing Series trucks at the Magic Mile, New Hampshire. We can promise you that name will never change.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if you saw how close the 25 came to washing up into the outside truck there. That was a high pucker factor right there.
And by the way, under 100 laps to go now. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Moving right along. I mean, we've only had, 5, 6 cautions now?
5 yellow flags to stop the race. So, yeah. What was your over-under? You said 6, right? You're one from being eliminated.
Oh, my gosh.
Tyler Kim, hold on.
Rewind does not work.
Smith. And here comes Kim around.
Goodness.
Smith around. More trucks wrecking. Audenbacher just got caught up in it. Correction, Aaron Cooper. Caution out for the 6th time, and you are eliminated off the over-under island there, John.
Yay.
So, caution is out. 78 laps completed, working lap 79. We are going to stop and reset. We'll come back in a moment. This is coverage of the Northwest Racing Series trucks from New Hampshire. iRacing on LSRTV and simulcast on CRN, the Community Radio Network. We're back in a moment.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in endorsed series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
Yeah, we are seeing a couple of truck stragglers in the back come back to the pit area. And we have now settled in on lap number 80 this time by. John Muschin Jr. I am Wesley Outland. Mason Heimbaugh is in the production studio clicking the buttons tonight as Charles Wooten is off on assignment. And you do see the LTAC, you see LTAC, and you see the logos, and you see Tucson sound art and all that cool stuff. And of course, that was some of the former things that we covered for iRacing on LSRTV, Nolan's program. And of course, it was Mason was the Friday night producer for the program, so he kind of kept the same kind of graphics and whatnot. And you know, I already had somebody mess with me, like, well, where's Charles at? Why is things different? Guys, don't freak out. He had to take care of something else tonight, okay? Sometimes we all can't be here for iRacing. Am I right, John, or am I right?
You're right.
6 yellow flags, by the way, so far here tonight. And John over under was 6. I think mine was 8, but I think I'm in trouble as well. John, I don't know.
Yeah, we're not even halfway yet. I mean, we're going to be halfway when we go back to green here shortly. But man, come on, guys.
Yeah, what is it? Is it 83? I think it is. Lap 83 is halfway.
82 and a half, whatever you want to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. No, it's not. It's lap 80. Oh my goodness. Is it lap 80?
87.
87, that's it. Yep, that's it. Lap 87. And then 86 laps to go, and that's how you make up your, what would be the distance for 175 laps. So. Yeah. But anyhow, lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to try a pace car for the trucks. They're going to come back to green here. Man, I tell you what, John, look at this. Raz West back up there again. Toby Ritters, look at him up to 3rd.
Did Anderson get another speeding penalty?
I think he did. Maybe he did. Let's find out. Hayden Anderson, did he get another EOL? We're ready. Another restart here. Unless he pitted and had a bad pit stop. Able to come back to the Geico restart zone. Closing in on halfway as John reiterated on. And the green flag waves again on lap number 82. this race as Dan West Jr. gets a nice jump in the field, but here comes a whole gaggle of trucks coming after him in the form of Raz. Brightsman, Ritter's back in the fight, along with O'Hare and Garber. Then you got also White, Bloom, King fighting it out, and they go in the Magic Mile to turn 3, Johnny Boy.
Wow. That was a close call right there for the 94. Is that the 94?
That is, yes.
Yeah, Garber. Yeah, he almost nailed the back door of our Budweiser truck there. And Ritter's. Oh, wow, look at the 6. Chris White sneaking up on there on the inside there, looking to maybe follow him through that hole right there. Meantime, right up in front of them, we got trucks out of shape. Behind them, we got trucks out of shape. My goodness. Wesley, they're everywhere.
Yeah, so much craziness going on right now as the field working their way, of course, out of turn number 4, back to the start-finish line. Here comes Chris White, along with Ritter's door to door. Bloom behind them on the bottom. So is Anderson. Look at that, John. Anderson put to the back, second time, and he just says, you know what? Look at the way he methodically just dissects this field, going after
here we go.
2 or 3 trucks again down into turn number 3. Look at this, 3 wide.
That didn't work last time. Let's see if it can work this time. In the meantime, you're right. Anderson just, I mean, like a surgeon in a really big hurry. Look at this. Now he's going to take him 3 wide. Oh, boy.
3
boy.
wide. White, look out. And Chris White gives him a shove. I don't think he liked it. I don't think he liked it one bit. And then he jumps up and gets in front of Ryan Bloom. And Tyler King now drops to the bottom of the racetrack. And they try to stick it 3 wide to get into turn number 3.
I can tell you right now, Chris White in that 6 truck is not happy with the 37 truck at all. You know, they say 8 tires is better than 4, but you don't want to be that outside 4, if you know what I mean.
All of this happening as they go back down into turn number 1 and 2 again with Anderson. You're on board with now, KA, from Yakima, Washington. Down on the bottom of the racetrack, he makes a run on O'Hare. And all the while, man, there was a little bit of a Chris White was not happy. He fell all the way back, by the way, to 8th amongst all of that craziness that went on between him and Caden Anderson. Now he looks to run down Brightsman for 4th into turn 1, John.
Down through turn 1 as we ride along with Anderson getting on the inside of Brightsman right here. Little out of shape right there. You saw that wiggle on the steering wheel there, but oh, we got another truck out of shape behind him, way down on the inside there. He clears Brightsman in the 46, Anderson does. Brightsman's now under fire from the 25 truck right behind him, and Bloom's bringing company with him. So Brightsman is under fire from basically 3 trucks right now. And
by the way, Chris White is also back on the high horse, and he is after them as well. As this goes on with Bloom and Brightsman side by side as they work off the tunnel turn in turn number 2. Side by side, White in there. Here comes now also the machine of O'Hare battling with Bloom and Brightsman. Anderson liking this because he is liking the opportunity to pull away. His next man will be Garber. There is now 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and they go into turn number 1.
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, right there all under one blanket. I don't know what happened up front, but Raz and West have checked out. Raz has about a half a second lead over West, and those two are 2.5 seconds ahead of Garber. So I'm not real sure what happened, if somebody got out of shape or what, and bottleneck 3rd place on back. But right now, Raz is riding clean and free up there with West about a half a second behind him.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job right now. They work again out of turn 4 from the blimp view high above the New Hampshire Motor Speedway down into turn number 1. Look at that battle with O'Hare. That's the black and white 41, now in 2 under the tunnel turn. Brightsman will follow, followed by Chris White and Tyler King. And how about this? Newton is trying to get that second pack to run him down. He's got some help now with Kevin Smith. That goes on as they work out of turn 3 and 4.
Wow, Kevin Smith was right there on the back door of the 27 truck of Newton. Lost a little bit of ground there as they came off of 4. Now they're going to duck down into turn 1 right here and see if he can't pull back up on that bumper. In the meantime, right up in front of them, you see the 21 of King. Just ahead of him is White in that 6 truck, and just ahead of him is Brightsman. Brightsman now under fire one more time from Chris White in that 6.
Yeah, all this going on now as they settle back into turn number 1 and 2. And here they come back out of The second turn. Correction, I'm sorry, I lost track. They're coming on the front stretch now. And here comes now White on the inside of Sean Brightsman, making that run for him for that spot. This is for 6th and 7th and 8th position now. Tyler King trying to get up in that battle as well, John, as they hit the back straightaway, single file now.
Single file a little bit here. Going to rest up a little bit, maybe catch our breath, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe see if we can't get some green flag laps going here. In the meantime, we've got Raz up front. West drops back to almost second now. Garber, third. Fourth is Anderson. Fifth is Bloom. Sixth is O'Hare. Somebody we haven't talked a whole lot about tonight. O'Hare in that 41 truck, Wesley.
Yeah, Stephen O'Hare looking really, really strong right now in truck number 41. He's had to fight and hustle and tussle to make his way to be in that spot outside the top 5. Ryan Bloom also looking good, but now we see Harris and Kevin Smith, Brian Reynolds, all going at it for position. This is working on outside the top 10.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Reynolds' truck there. Looks like he's got some significant damage on that left side of that truck, which is indicative of somebody getting into him. Was it that Anderson earlier, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, him and Caden Anderson had some contact earlier in the race, and a
little bit of a donut there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes you know right there, John, I don't think he's took a fast repair yet for the 12.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm not real sure, to be honest with you. Oh, look at how out of shape those two guys were just then. The 12 not quite as bad as Smith was in the
double zero. Yeah, he was dirt tracking it there off the front straightaway a moment ago.
Still trying to clear to his outside, the level of Harris. Oh, Harris way out of shape right there.
There you see Kevin Smith down to the inside, battling Frank Harris. Doing really good here the last couple of weeks.
For that first caution, we were riding on board with Frank Harris. The 99 truck spun out right in front of him, triggering our first caution. So Harris is not unfamiliar with excitement of this track so far tonight, is he, Wesley?
No, not at all. And I was just going to say, man, phenomenal job Frank Harris has done here the last couple of weeks in improving and climbing the scoring pylon to have some pretty decent finishes for that driver in the Built Ford Tough entry. Right now, look at Frank Harris. He currently is sitting 18th in the standings, but you know, I know he's not no top 5s and no top 10s, but he's been very, very competitive, and he's getting so much better now in truck 11.
That's what it takes. Just keep plugging away at it. Keep, you know, doing what you can to learn and figure out how these trucks handle over time, and you'll get better at it. It's a learning curve. It's very steep one at that. Oh, nice shot. We ride along with the 21 of King. Looking at, sorry, the 27th, excuse me. That'll be Newton. As while the 12 truck of Reynolds slides right up in front of him right there. On board with the left front suspension, by the way. That's what that camera shot was.
All the while, the interval almost a second and a half, shrinking by Dan West Jr. on Cole Raz as we watch now Frank Harris again bonsai off of that tunnel turn. All that happening as Tyler King looks after Brightsman. Action everywhere. Mason Hobba's getting dizzy trying to figure out where to cover it.
But he is. Lap 100. We're doing lap 100 right now. 75 to go next time by. And Brightsman into the wall. Brightsman loses a couple spots there, brushing that wall on the outside.
Yeah, look at Sean Brightsman there. Hitting the wall, getting sideways. Now he's fighting it again as they work off that tunnel turn. Most of the problems, actually correction, all the problems that have happened tonight here in this race have happened off of turn number 2. Remember Days of Thunder? They're talking about Darlington heading into treacherous turn 4. Well, today's race for the Northwest Trucks has been treacherous turn 2 at the Magic Mile at New Hampshire.
And the funny thing is, I guess, just funny to me though, was that was before Darlington flip-flopped, remember? That's
right. Oh yeah. That race was.
So now that would be treacherous turn 2 for them too. Yeah. So now that would be treacherous turn 2 for them as well.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
something about that tunnel turn, something about the way you transition, entering, exiting off the corner. People talk about it even in real life about that racetrack. And, you know, we always say this, iRacing is the perfect mimic blueprint to mock what the real deal is besides getting
yeah.
in a race car and doing it.
Let me tell you, I don't know how to, oh, I got a truck way out of shape down there. Wow. I don't know what it is about Darlington Turn 2, but I know it's not really moving. I get that, but when you come off that exit, it feels like that wall is moving towards you at a high rate of speed. You know, it's crazy. And if you don't know how to get around that track, it will come up and slap you really hard.
Well, the reason why is it's shaped like an egg.
Yeah.
In the way that the configuration of the racetrack is when you dive into the corner, the diamond of the corners are calling on. Wow, Newton almost lost it in 27. What a save for that truck.
I bet he's wide awake right now.
First you say it, then you do it.
Yes. Yes. To quote Bill Cosby, yes.
Oh, and by the way, what we were talking about Darlington, as we had that old moment with Newton's truck, he saves it. He's got now Aaron Cooper to get a chance to run him back down, as we've just gone over 100 laps of this event, still have 70 laps to go for the finish of this race. Darlington is a egg-shaped racetrack. It's no similar in corners anywhere around that place. And basically, when you climb the racetrack, you're diamonding off the corner, and your car wants to drive up the banking. The way the track is made, it makes you want to drive up the banking. Then when you clear off the back stretch, which used to be the front stretch, mind you, you want to dive down below the bottom. And then it makes you climb the banking again, working out of turn number 2. And obviously, you're seeing the track map on the bottom right of the monitor here on our broadcast coverage, and you see what is New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It's a perfect paperclip. I would say it mimics Martinsville, John, but it's a mile. It's bigger than Martinsville.
Yeah, we used to call it Martinsville on steroids, man.
There you go.
But back to Darlington, that's actually a track that I have marked on my calendar now. I love driving there in the trucks. So much fun. So much fun. And the races go so fast, man. I mean, it's just a fast little track. But yeah, back to here at New Hampshire, I love that overlay that Mason just put up. Shows you where our leader at, just across the start-finish line right now. And the back of the field, that 30 truck way back there, just halfway on the back stretch. So if this pace keeps up, lap traffic might come into play. And I think the reason I bring that up, I think that's the only thing, if we continue green, that's going to slow Raz down at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on all of that going on. You saw the little track map graphic, and that's something that we have in front of us on the broadcast booth. That is a big track map, if you will, as we watched Cole Raz continue to pick him up and putting him down. He's in his own little world now, down into turn number 2 off the tunnel turn. Of course, Dan West Jr. and Caden Anderson now exit off of those parts of the racetrack. The interval now 2 seconds on Dan West Jr. trying to run down Raz. And here you go now. Here's Daggett back in the top 20. This is a battle going on with Hunter. A couple of the trucks that had problems earlier in the race took the fast repair, and now they're battling going on to the back straightaway out of turn number 3.
Out of turn number 2, down into turn number 3 here, as these guys are battling it out. Up front, West has actually fallen back. He has lost sight of Raz. He's kind of fallen back into the clutches of Anderson here. Anderson and company will be catching him pretty soon. And I think West's truck is just going away on him. I'm not sure how old his tires are. I haven't really checked the last time he was in pit road, but he's definitely fallen back. In the meantime, that 22 truck way up high right there, way out of the race group. That is not where you want to drive your truck. As you see right there, he brushes the wall. Whoa. Wow, who is that back there?
Was that Camary? I think it was the 15,
yeah,
Chris Camary. Yes. Oh, my
Chris
God.
has had his hands full on exit of 2 all night long right there. But that's going to give Daggett a chance to get on by and get that spot. And we're going to watch these two battle it out behind him, Hunter and Camary, battling for position. And we'll see if Hunter gets into turn 1 a little bit better this time.
And you just said it, John. This is a battle for position. These trucks are on the lead lap. Even though they've had the bad luck they've had today in the early going, all these trucks, beaten, battered, banged, bruised, bandaged, and fixed up again, are still battling for the lead lap position in 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Move Anderson up to second, by the way.
For second. Yep, you're exactly right. Anderson just got around DWJ, and he sets his sights now on Super Friends Cole Raz.
Oh, I can tell you what's going on with Dan West. He hasn't pitted in 50-something laps. That's what's wrong. His tires have just totally given up on him. He's going to have to pit soon, probably the next 20 laps or so if he can get that far, because Anderson and Raz both pitted on lap 73. Dan West, last pit stop. There you go. There's a graphic right there. Lap 57.
Yeah, you see the pit stop strategy, pit stop lap the last time they pitted. And of course, lap 57 was the last time on this last sequence. Anderson on lap 73. Reynolds on lap 48, Harris on lap 49, along with Brightsman and Moore. So you got to be thinking, John, probably within the next 10 laps or so, 15 laps, for those drivers we mentioned that pitted in the 30s and 40s. If they do not get a yellow flag, they're going to have to take green flag pit stops here. That is really going to shake up the scoring pylon.
Yeah, we're looking for those guys, Reynolds, Harris, Moore, Brightsman, to be coming in any time now, probably in the next 5 to 7 laps, I would predict.
I'm being generous saying 10.
There's Dean Moore on pit road now.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm being generous saying 10 laps, but within the next 10 laps or less, they're going to be coming in. And the Moore speed, number 33, Dean Moore, a couple of times. His Chevrolet's been involved in the caution, coming onto the pit lane for service. Here comes now Kevin Smith, battling with Stephen O'Hare. This is for 7th and 8th position. Kevin's truck, you know, John, it seems like it struggles once it first gets going, but when you get him about 20, 25 laps in a green flag run, then you start to see his genius appear and see how good that truck really is.
Absolutely. I was just, you stole the words right out of my mouth there. Not just Smith, but a lot of these guys are better on the long run than they are on the short run, and it's really starting to show now that we had a nice long green flag run. Knock on wood. Get that out of the way.
I heard that.
Yes.
You hear it, I hear it.
Ritters is on pit road, and Dean Moore had to come back down pit road. Not sure what happened there, if he had a penalty or what, but he had to come back down pit road. Now Toby Ritters is on pit road, and that Thunder Road truck with the Budweiser sponsorship on the hood.
Yeah, Clifford not having a good run here tonight. Right now, a solid top 20 position right now for him. He was up in the front earlier. They got involved in a little tangle and fell back, and he's just not been able to recover for the man we call Clifford of the Budweiser Thunder Road, number 23. All the while, there goes Troy Daggett and Newton. They battle for position. This is for 15th position as that goes on. Also, Camary on the outside looking in, and we're going to start seeing more trucks peel off. Oh my goodness, did you see
Moore?
Who pulled up in front of Brightsman? Was that Dennis Moore, the points leader?
He got way out of shape come off too. It's like he didn't want to lift, but he had to save the truck. But back to Daggett. Daggett, after having a great run with this long green flag run, really suits him. He's made up 3 or 4 spots since that last time they went to green, so he's doing good. By the way, Hunter is now on pit road. Rod Hunter, the 22 truck, he's on pit road. This is a scheduled stop for him as well.
Yeah, he didn't seem very happy just a moment ago. Here comes now Ron Hunter. Oh, fast repair, it's coming. You know it. Yes? No? Not yet. I figured he would clean up the truck, but no, he has not. Hunter Performance Motorsports Chevrolet still thinks there's still some more crazy chaos and mayhem at the Magic Mile to come before he finally goes for the FR.
Wow. I was just looking at some pit stop times. Looks like Dean Moore got a penalty. Probably speeding exit, so he had to come back in.
That's up right there for the driver of Mr. Dean Moore. They're going to come to the line and put lap 120 on the board next time by as well. With Raz, Anderson, West, Garver, Bloom, your top 5. Reynolds, Smith, O'Hare, Harris, White, the top 10. We await the green flag pit stops that are going to start happening in sequence for trucks that pitted around lap 30, 40 laps or so in the run. And then if this green flag run continues, John, what do you think in lap 145 or so? The leaders are going to have to make green flag stops for the first time tonight here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, somewhere around there. We're still looking for Dennis Moore and Sean Brightsman to come down road. Paul Newton's on pit road. We just covered him a minute ago. But yeah, we're going to be looking for Brightsman to come down pretty soon. Let's see who else. Dennis Moore, and I think that's going to do it for those guys. And then, like you said, we've got the leaders, Cole Raz, Anderson, Don West. Dan West has actually been out there since lap 7. We talked about that earlier, too. Casey Garber, all those guys probably right around lap 140 and, somewhere in that neighborhood, and that'll take them well to the end. Plenty of fuel, plenty of tires, so we should see some good green flag racing after that spot.
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm thinking is right now this is coming to the end of this deal here, so pick yourselves out a winner as we are closing in on those final 50 laps. As there you see Chris White, Bonsai, down to the inside.
Wow.
In the number 6, I think he's battling Frank Harris and Kevin Smith for that position. You just caught the tail end of it on the bottom left of our broadcast feed. As there you see Tyler King and Sean Brightsman. This is for 13 and 14th. The race is on to the final 50 laps here tonight at the Magic Mile.
Tell you what, this is, I love this part. Oh, who's this on?
Tyler Kim in 30. Tyler Kim, his Ford comes on and peels to the pit lane.
I like these kind of races when you're trying to figure out who's going to pit win, and see what they've got here.
Well, and the thing is, John, it changes the entire strategy of the race as well.
It really does. It really does. Look how out of shape 21 is right there. Wow. And Brightsman behind him. These guys are getting real slick now. You can tell the guys that have been out there for a while on these tires.
Understanding that Sean Brightsman has been on those tires in the 46 since lap 49. We're on lap number 124. Look at them fighting. It's like a dirt track, and because of the tires.
Oh,
we got contact.
We got a wreck.
Trucks wrecking Ritter's. I think, no, it's Newton. Newton's truck just got spun into the bottom of the racetrack. The 27 truck. I think he had some contact with another truck. I'm thinking it might have been Ritter's. And the yellow is out here for the 7th time after a long green flag run. And actually it's Chris Camary. Ritter's was in front of them. He got lucky. Camary tags the back of the 27 down to the bottom of the inside of the racetrack where the Armco barriers are, the tires are. No wall, speeds away. He'll continue to race another day.
Yes, very lucky for him. I mean, there's a lot of inanimate objects down there on that side of the racetrack that you don't want to run into. Hey, Tyler Kim was just on pit road. If he stayed on the lead lap, this is going to put him in front of everybody.
That's right, because the whole cavalry's coming in. The whole cavalry is getting ready to come down to the pit lane. Watch this. Here with 50 laps to go, it is about to get busy, busy, busy. Wow, some people didn't pit. But here comes everyone else in the front. You know they were coming in, John. We got pit stops. And by the way, every time Caden Anderson has pitted this race, he has got busted with a penalty on entrance or preferably exit. Hopefully 3 times a charm for the 37. They are rolling to their pit stalls now.
Yeah, this is the money stop. I mean, technically, this is definitely the money stop. If we go green the rest of the way, Smith in his box, we see there right there. A lot of guys trying to get 4 tires and fuel done here. I didn't see anybody screw up on pit road so far.
Oh, Raz is out. Anderson's out. I think West beat him. Anderson and West. Raz, Anderson, West, Garber, Reynolds, a race off pit road. And there it is. And how about this? Chris Camary, John, is going to be the leader of this race in the 50.
He didn't pit. He stayed out.
He tagged the back of Newton. Caution coming
he's
out
on
for,
pit road now.
for
He's
Newton.
on pit
Now
road.
He's pitting now. He gives it up. Yeah, Kim's on pit road again. That's Kim on pit road. Camary.
Yeah.
Did Camary pit too? Yes, there he is.
He's on pit road.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all the while, under 50 laps to go, back marker truck said, and Camary overshot his pit stall. We are settling in for a shootout. Caution out. We will step away, and we're also closing in on the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification and go to commercial break for those that are watching iRacing on LSRTV. This is the Northwest Racing Series from New Hampshire.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in endorsed series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
Lights are off for the pace car as the field nestles their way into turn number 3. 47 laps to go when the field comes back to the Geico restart zone. John Muschin Jr., I'm Wesley Outland. Greg Rentz will be back next week. And Mason Heimbaugh doing a phenomenal job clicking the buttons. Filling in for Mr. Charles Wooten, who's on assignment tonight for Race on Texas. Green flag back in the air. And we've got a shootout here. Me and John were talking during commercial for TV and radio timeout. And one of the things we said, John, was could we see another long green flag run? That was the longest green flag run of the race that we just saw take place.
Well, I would like to say yes, but I also know from experience that drivers' brains tend to short circuit when they get new tires on the truck. And they think that they're invincible. They think this truck's going to do anything they want it to, and they'll push boundaries that they shouldn't be pushing. So we'll wait and see. We'll see how it works out. We're seeing Breitzman here trying to make up some spots. He lost about 3 or 4 spots at the end of that run. Oh, wow.
Troy Daggett bottlenecks the field behind them. They jackknife in the corner out of 2, and somehow, some way, they hold it together. That
No, they
could have
don't.
been a big wreck. Cam in the wall. Sniff to the bottom. They save it. No caution.
Wow, that could have been huge. There was quite a bit of contact right
Oh, we
there.
got a problem, though. I see smoke up ahead. It's Brian Reynolds. He spun at the bottom of the racetrack. There's no caution yet. No caution. Brian Reynolds in the 12.
And he's as if he doesn't stop right there. Yeah, he's got to keep going. Good. Yeah, he was down on the grass, out of the race track right there. So they didn't bring the caution
Problems. Ron Hunter's truck just about went around in turn 2. Truck number 22. He saves it. He about tagged Ritter's. Still no caution, John.
out. You were asking me what I thought about this. This is what I was telling you, man. Insanity. Chris White's having issues. He's all the way back
Chris
here now.
White
in
had a
15th.
problem. Yeah, there was my pick. Hello.
Man, I told you. I mean, I don't know what it is about pit stops, cautions, that the drivers come back on track. All of a sudden, hey, my truck's invincible now. I can put it anywhere I want to. And that is not the case, man.
Hey, by the way, Jeff Stabnow, John, not here tonight. Got family in town in Billings, Montana, so he's spending some time with the family. It's very unusual not seeing the LSRTV CRN
really
4K
is, yeah.
Ford on the track tonight.
Yeah, I was looking for him, during practice, couldn't find him. And that's, hey, that's understandable, man. Family comes first always. And by the way, we have our first retiree tonight, of Chris
Camary.
Yep.
And just think, he was in the lead a moment ago.
I shouldn't say that. He's not the first one to retire. I think Burke retired first.
Yeah, I think Carl Burke.
And B. Moore was out.
Yep. He's 20th. 19 trucks left on the lead lap,
Yeah.
by the way. 16 on the lead lap. Newton,
Ron
one
Hunter
lap
on pit
down.
road.
Yeah, here we go. As Raz is having a battle, here comes Anderson. Super Friends is coming, 1 and 2. Dan West Jr. right behind him, representing Team LSRTV CRN tonight in the 55 at Shelton, Washington. He's, by the way, John, look at that first Northwest Truck Series win of the year. I mentioned he's got some cup wins, but not for the truck. 2-time and defending series champion in the double nickel third.
If I'm West right now, I'm going to sit back and watch these two fight with each other. Let them wear their tires out a little bit quicker than his. Just chill out back there, hold what he's got. Don't let the car get too out of shape. Save that back rear tire, that right rear tire, because every time you get loose, you burn that tire up a little bit and lose a little bit more grip. And if I'm him...
John, we know that Raz and Anderson will go to the whip on one another.
Oh yeah, no mercy at all. And we'll watch a little fight here between 46 of Bryceman and 21 of King. Bryceman down on the inside.
Yeah, this is for 9th and 10th. But somehow, some way, guys, I'm telling you, you need to keep that battle for the lead. Raz and Anderson, they are going to go at it tooth and nail here when it all goes down. I know we're watching everything going on to the top 10, but watch for P1, and West is ready to capitalize on them also.
Yeah, we need to get that camera back up there up front, man.
Bryceman and King now continuing to go at it for 9th and 10th. Daggett right there behind him. He had problems earlier in the race, and he's battled. And all the while, Anderson's closed in on Raz for this battle for the lead. 15 thousandths, 13 thousandths of a second. As they work their way.
Can we get the camera on the leaders?
Working their way into turn 4. Here we go.
Oh,
and look at Dan West Jr. He wants to stick his nose in this battle for the second spot on Anderson as they work into turn 2.
Anderson slipped up right there coming off of 4, and it looks like West is trying to capitalize on that mistake. I don't think he's going to be able to do it right here. Anderson's going to clear him going back down into 3 right here. Going to gather it up and go back after Raz now. He lost 3/10 right there with all of that. We'll see if he can't get that time back probably in the next lap or so.
John, did you see where Dan West Jr. about dirt tracked it coming out of 2 off the tunnel turn, and he about hooked the back end of the 37 of Anderson. He had to back away, but in doing so, he lost a lot of momentum catching the 37 and the 10. Now he's back at it again. Look at him fighting that steering wheel. You're on board with DWJ as he'll send the 55 to 3 in turn 3 in third.
As we ride around with the 55, if you look at the right rear of the truck in front of him of Anderson, he's got extensive damage on that right rear of that truck. I'm pretty sure that happened about 2 laps ago when he got a little bit loose and tagged the wall, and that's how he fell back into the clutches of Dan West Jr. But man, what a fight we've got now. We got a 3-truck battle for the lead.
Reeling him in. He's closing in. Look at this, on board still with Dan West Jr. I wonder what it's like now if we go on board with Caden Anderson. What's his view like looking at the back end of the tailgate of the leader of the number 10 of Cole Raz? As now we go back to another camera angle. This is on board with Caden Anderson, the 37 Harvest Chevrolet entry. Got to run to the bottom as he tried to make a run on his friend Cole Raz. Down to the inside, got the left rear, got him sideways. They both saved the trucks as they close in on 30 to go.
Looking back now on Cole Raz from the bumper of, looking back at Anderson from Raz's back bumper. Look at this, what a shot. You see Anderson doing everything in his power to try to get up there and maybe get him just a little bit loose. He doesn't want to wreck him, that's not what I'm saying, but he does want to loosen him up a little bit. Maybe give him a shot in the bumper as they go into the turn, force him up a little bit. And in the meantime, like I said, West just riding back there, waiting for something to happen, waiting for his turn. Maybe try and capitalize on the fact that I think Anderson has probably burned his tires off.
Yeah, and Dan West Jr. ready to pounce on those 2 trucks like he's trying to take away the last piece of cake on the window seal as they work their way coming off of that corner. Out of turn number 4. Look at him sideways.
Oh, he's out of shape.
Hold on, save it. Dan West Jr. He does, but he loses ground again on Anderson. And while that goes on, Raz is pulling away now. Half a second back, if you will. There's the distance as they work off of turn number 2, the tunnel turn. 7 yellow flags in this race so far. They just came off the longest green flag run of the race that was from 73 to I think it was lap 130 or 127, 128, so close to a 60-lap run before that caution flag came out. And now this battle of wits continues. As we all mentioned, the money stop was set a moment ago, and here you see all these trucks now, John, single file as they work again out of 2.
30 laps to go, and I'm pretty sure everybody has at least 1 set of tires left. They give them 5 sets of tires in this race, 4 in the pits and 1 they start the race on.
No. They got 3 sets.
I'm looking at the server info. It's 5 sets of tires.
Oh, my apologies, because they changed it in because the information that we were given, basically from the Northwest Racing Series Post, actually said. Let's see here. Yeah, a set of tires plus 3 sets of tires. So they might have changed it. 1 fast repair.
Yeah. So like I was saying, it's possible that some of these guys still have one set of tires left. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I know that we're at 30 laps to go right now, and it's calmed down up front a little bit. Wes is falling back. He's definitely losing ground. Who's on pit road?
Kim is on pit road. The 30
Tyler
truck,
Kim,
Tyler
yeah.
Kim. Yep.
But yeah, he's lost ground now. West has. He's about a second and a half behind Raz right now. Anderson, though, he's still right there on the bumper. He's about 2/10 off of Raz, slowly chipping away at that lead. So we'll keep our eye on that as we go. But in the meantime, 46 of Brightsman is working his way up into the top 10. He's up to 8th now, working on the back door of Moore in that 44, Wesley.
Yeah, Dennis Moore, the points leader. Dennis Moore's the points leader going into this race, Biden. You, as we watch these other guys battle in the front, they are second and third in the points, but look at Brightsman and Moore battle for this position.
Oh, up front, battle for the lead. He's on the inside. Anderson's on the inside of him. Worked him over going through 3 and 4 last time by.
Yes, sir. Made that run down to the inside. Anderson door to door with Raz. Raz gives him room, lets him stay to the inside. But the thing about New Hampshire is you can drift up the racetrack, and that's exactly what we're seeing the 37 truck do. Mind you, they hold it together down into turn number 3. All this happening into the corner. It is still going to be Raz and Anderson coming to the line, and we are under 30 laps to go at the Magic Mile, John.
I don't think he's going to make that pass on the inside. He's going to end up burning his right front off trying to make that pass on the inside. I hate to say this, but what he's going to have to do is get up as close as he can to the back bumper of that 10 truck and just tap him as they go in a turn. What that does, that forces that 10 truck to go in faster than he wants to. It'll cause him to drift up a little bit. That's the only way he's going to make this pass, I promise you.
All of this transpiring as they work their way back around into turn number 4. Back to start finish. Put lap number 149 on the board, closing in on 25 laps to go. It is pucker time, as they say in Armageddon. Ready to make that move. Who is it going to be? Here comes Reynolds down to the inside. This is White on the outside. And these trucks are way in the back in 15th and 16th position.
Yeah.
Watching these guys battling again. There goes the battle now. This is Kevin Smith, John. This is going on for the top 10. 9th and 10th position up for grabs as Kevin Smith and, hold on there, Kevin Smith and Stephen O'Hare go at it in battle.
Yeah, O'Hare on the outside, Smith on the inside. O'Hare looked like he might have brushed the wall just a little bit right there. Gave up some momentum doing that to let Smith on by. Move Smith up to 9th. That was my pick for the 9th, but that truck is abused and used right now. So I don't know if he's got what it takes to make up 11.5 seconds to the leader. So, yeah, I'm sorry for picking you there, Mr. Smith. My bad.
Hey, don't feel bad. Your truck is struggling, and so is mine. And actually, your truck is further ahead than mine is. That's Chris White, by the way.
Yeah, Chris has had a rough night too, man. He was actually running pretty well for the first half of this race, but had some issues on the road, I think, where he had his issues at. But, man, wow, who was that just smacked the wall up? A little tank slapper up there.
71, Aaron Cooper. 71, Aaron Cooper there just about hit the wall, but he is able to continue along as we close in on 23. Now make it 23 laps to go here at New Hampshire, settling in. 7 yellow flags so far in this race. Look at now. Tyler King got sideways there. He's still fighting that truck as they go off the backstretch, John, to turn number 3.
Yes, sir. Fighting that truck all the way down the backstretch. Man, that just really messes your entry up to 3 right there, too. But he got it under control. He's got that thing going the right way this time. In the meantime, I tell you, I'm watching throughout the field, and you got like a little pack of cars. West, Bloom, Garber, Harris, they're all kind of right there on top of each other. And then it's about 5 seconds back to Brightsman, who's up to 7th still. Looking to make up some ground, but he's running out of time, really. We got 22 laps to go here. As the leaders take the line right now, be 21 to go. And Brightsman's definitely running out of time to maybe move himself up a little bit further in the standings right there.
Raz is still the leader. Let's pick up the leaders now as they work their way back into turn number 2 to the back straightaway. There is the distance, and it looks like it is coming down to mano-a-mano between Super Friends, Cole Raz and Caden Anderson. John, we have seen this battle between them before. Gotta wonder if Anderson is kind of playing possum, ready to make that last ditch effort move with 20 to go. Dan West Jr., mind you, has fell all the way back 3.5 seconds to the leaders as it's these two going at it to the back stretch in turn number 3.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, though, Wesley. I'm not sure Anderson has enough truck left to get to Raz again. I think he shot his shot there about 10 laps ago. We saw how hard they were fighting. He was down the inside trying to pass Raz on the inside. That really kills the tires. And I don't know if he's got enough tires left to get back up there. As you see, he's already lost. Since we started watching 2 laps ago, he's lost 2/10 already. So, like I said, I think he made his shot, didn't get it done, and now it's really Raz's race to lose. If Raz can keep his line the same, keep his truck clean, keep it off the wall, keep it going forward the right way, he'll be okay.
But here's the deal. If Raz doesn't falter, he's going to win this race, I think. But if there's mistakes made by the 10, he starts to slow up, John. Caden Anderson's got to take advantage of those weaknesses. That might be the only way to get him into victory lane. Oh, and mind you, they're closing in on lap traffic, and it's Chris White, the 6.
I was just about to say, man, look at this. They caught lap traffic really fast right here. That might be the other way that Anderson's able to get back up to that bumper, is if Raz has an issue getting, oh, wow, Anderson over the wall.
Anderson hits the wall, and he has now fell back a half a second or more. But now look at him fight back in there and battle alongside Chris White, the lap truck, the number 6 machine, the Dragonade machine up on the outside. As that goes on into turn number 3, White says, okay, guys, have at it. Normally, lap trucks go to the inside. He stays to the outside, and they finally clear him. But look at he lost almost 3/4 of the lead on the leader, Raz, as we come to 15 to go next time by, John.
15 to go next time by. I was just looking at the truck of Chris White. That's actually a callback to Dale Jr.'s old Exalta paint scheme that Sam Bass did. You remember that? Remember that paint scheme?
Yes, sir.
The bright orange and yellow one?
Beautiful, beautiful wrap job. Yes, you're exactly right.
And he's going to come on the pit road, it looks like.
Yeah, Chris White, I think he says, I'm done. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Chris White is going to park it and call it a night. That his Dragonade Dubby Toyota is just, I think, had it, and he has parked it. I think he's officially out.
Side. Yeah, it's destroyed on that right side.
Cooper in the 71, King in 21. Daggett behind them. This goes on for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Cooper just clears him, put him back into the top 10 with 15 to go here at the Magic Mile.
Not yet, good sir. Not yet. You're giving this away already. King's got something to say about that as we drag race down into turn 3. King on the outside, Cooper on the inside. In the meantime, back there, Daggett just watching these two guys go at it. This could be anybody's race for 10th right here. Ooh.
Yes. Whoa, look at the move. He washed up the track, King did, and then he starts making bonsai moves to the inside. And now gets another big run again on the bottom of the racetrack on Cooper as they fight for 10. Caution's out. Yellow flag. What is it for? Chris White.
What?
Huh? What?
Yes,
Why?
that's why. What? So he came off a pit road. He's got fresh tires on it and just went in way too hard.
He just drove it in too hard. I thought he was honestly going to park it and call it a night. He just got himself a fast repair.
Yeah.
And then he just dives in too hard in the corner and spins the truck around. Yellow flag is out.
All right, now this will be the money stop, brother. Watch these pit stops.
Oh, hands down. And Anderson's ready for him, too. No mistakes needed, mind you, when they come to the pit lane.
Oh, this is good. This is so tense. I'm so tense right now. My anxiety is high right now.
And look at White. Look at King. King does not pit. Are you kidding me? Tyler King does not pit. Anderson is in, West is in, and Bloom overshot his pit stall.
Yep.
Smith is in, Garber's in, and Brightsman's in.
Raz did not want to. If anybody on this field didn't want to see that, it was Raz for sure. Wow!
Brightsman, look at that.
2 tires.
2 tires and fuel. And Smith is still hung out to dry. Bloom. Smith now finally leaves the pit lane. Sean Brightsman with the Hail Mary move of the night at the Magic Mile, and it might pay off for the 46. Wow.
Unbelievable. 2 tire stop. I did not see that coming. Yeah, what he's right now, Mason, what he's trying to do is he's trying to get heat built up in those tires.
You're
trying
exactly
to get those
right.
Equalize as much as he can. Wow, did not
He's
see
got
that
he's
coming.
got 2 new tires on the right side, and basically what he's trying to do, as John reiterated on, is he's trying to get as much warmth on both of the tires on the right as there already is on grip to the left. And that is why he's continuing to kind of circle around and make those motions to get those tires nice and hot and clean, virtually, mind you, as we settle in for a shootout.
Staying out. Oh my God!
I love it, man. Tyler King is going for a bold strategy here, John. Let's see if it pays off.
I need heart meds now. I need my blood pressure pills.
Oh my goodness, guys! I'm being told that Sean Brightsman missed his pit box. I think he got no service on the 46.
No, I watched him. He took 2 tires.
He did? Okay.
Yep.
Jeff Stabnow is not racing tonight, but he's watching, so I think he was kind of having that sick pitting feeling to the stomach for one of the LSRTV CRN teammates of Sean Brightsman, 2020 Cup Series champion, originally from Puyallup, Washington, now resides in Tucson, Arizona, the home of the Cactus.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sean went in and took 2 right side tires, just like you called it.
2 tires, fills up, and ready to go here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow. Man,
What's
oh,
going to
man.
help? What's going to help Brightsman now? You watch this restart. Brightsman is on the outside of Tyler King. Tyler King's been out there now since lap, let's see here, lap 125. So he's got some pretty old tires there compared.
Okay, wave around for Chris White.
Yeah,
wave around for Chris White.
Or is it? Is he getting a penalty?
What is he doing?
I don't know.
I would think he'd get the wave around and pass everybody. The lights are off on the pace car. What are you doing? Oh, my.
All right,
He might hold up the field.
They're going to extend the yellow flag.
They are. Caution's extended. They just got the lights back on. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, John. Chris White should get the wave around or the free pass, whatever you want to call it. He should just start.
Real quick, we had this exact same glitch in the Sim 500 Xfinity race. Not sure what's going on. It's an iRacing thing. It's a glitch. We had the exact same thing happen with the Xfinity race the other night at this track. Yeah.
If this happens, could this possibly give a win to Tyler King because they ran out of laps?
Don't we have green, white checkers? Okay, yeah, they got it fixed.
There we go. All right, go. Get out of here, Chris. Get out of here. You're my pick, and you made me lose. Chris White. No, I know. I got love for Chris White, for 2021 champion. And every time I pick somebody, John, they have a bad night. Okay? And even look at yours. Your guy's at 9th, okay?
At least he's got the top 10 going.
Exactly.
This restart right here is going to be amazing to watch. Wesley, take a deep breath and call us back to green, brother.
Pace car coming in this time by. We have 8 caution flags, so my over-under will end if we get another one. We've got 9 laps to go. Ironically, 8 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Green flag as they roar back to the Geico restart zone. And they're going to go 3 wide. Tyler King, bonsai into turn 1.
Look at Brightsman on the outside with his 2
Wow.
tires, making it work on the outside.
Oh, look out.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Reynolds,
They're wrecking.
Smith, your pick in the grass. He crashes. He got into Dennis Moore, the points leader. No caution. No caution. They're still racing. Green flag out of turn 4. 7 to go here at New Hampshire.
Brightsman with a 1/10 lead over Raz. That's not going to last going down into turn 1 right here. Anderson on the outside trying to make his mind up which way he wants to go with this. In the meantime, with a 55 West got right up on the backside of the 37 of Anderson. Raz fighting on the inside of Brightsman for the lead. 4 tires versus 2 tires. I don't think Brightsman's going to win this one.
Brightsman hung out to dry. Here comes the fast trucks of Anderson and Raz. And Brightsman now hung out on the outside lane. Dan West Jr. will follow. Look at this, John. Frank Harris in 5th. Are you kidding me?
Frank Harris, after being involved in an early out, look at the move that West just did. Slid right up in front of Brightsman. They both get loose. Harris, after being involved in an early wreck on lap, but we got a wreck.
Ritters goes around. Caution out for the 9th time here at New Hampshire. Toby Ritters, truck 23, also a part of Team LSRTV and the CRN crew, goes around. Yellow out. 5 laps to go. Here is your replay. Wow. Excitement, chaos, mayhem all down the stretch. And believe it or not, I think Sean Brightsman is going to get one more shot to get after these guys. But the thing is you've got Raz, Anderson, and West. They've already cleared him. Harris is up to 4th, mind you. Do you know that? Harris is in 4th.
I see that. What a great rebound story for Harris. Like I said, folks, early on in this race, lap 2, I think it was, right? Lap 2 or 3, involved in the very first incident. We were running on board with him. The 99 got out of shape, got him and a few other guys involved. He's beaten on that truck, got the fast repair, got everything fixed out that he could, made some adjustments, and here he is, Wesley, up to 4th place.
You remember what I was mentioning earlier about how he's improved in the Cup Series and just still looking for that first opportunity for a top 5 or top 10? It could happen tonight for the built Ford Tough truck number 11. He sits now in the number 4 position. Brightsman has fell back to 5th. Ryan Bloom with his problems earlier back in 6th. Briar Reynolds as well has climbed to 7th. Aaron Cooper 8th. Troy Daggett, John, remember him in the first caution with Toby Ritters, Frank Harris, and more? Back to 9th, and Stephen O'Hare is in the top 10.
Man, this is going to be one great restart right here. We're going to go green probably with about 2 laps to go. So kind of an unofficial green-white checker. Yeah,
that's right. They're in the official scheduled distance of the race. So remember, the caution comes out. If they take the white flag, obviously they'll run back to the checker. But if they have a caution before they get the white flag, then and only then do we go in to a double green-white checker if necessary for overtime. 2 attempts if needed. As right now, it looks like 3 to go. So it'll be 2 to go. They take the 1 to go. I don't know, John. I'm wondering if they might call this off and do overtime number 1, unless they're going to let him have a 1-lap shootout. Holy cow, would that be wild?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. This might be automatically extended by iRacing, though. iRacing doesn't do 1-lap shootouts. Or do they? I don't know.
We'll find out. We will find out here right now if those lights go off of that pace car. It's 2 laps to go now when they come to the line. If they don't, then we know they're going to go into the overtime. Right now, this will tell the tale. And the verdict is, I wish that ticker would go away so I could see the lights. Wow, it is going to be green-white checker. So this is the deal. This is the first attempt at overtime. John, you want to set them up for the rules of overtime? How it's all going to go down?
All right, folks, what's going to happen here? They're going to take the green flag. The next flag, if nothing happens, will be the white flag. After that, no matter what, crashing, wrecking, doesn't matter, the race is going to be over. If a wreck happens that brings out the caution flag before the trucks, the leader takes the white flag, we're going to rack them, stack them, and do it one more time.
And don't count out any of these guys in the back. Still got a shot to try to climb in for a solid run. A lot of people in the chat box rooting for Clifford Toby Ritters. A lot of people saying like to see Frank Harris on the podium. It'll be his first top 5, top 10 of the season. Here they come, back to the Geico restart zone. Overtime, number 1. Here they come to the line. Green flag in the air. It is Raz on the inside, Anderson on the outside. A 3-truck battle behind them for 3rd with West. Harris is battling now with Brightsman. They stick it 3 wide behind them as they go into turn number 2.
Brightsman bump drafted West all the way down into turn 1. Brightsman out of shape now. He's going to bottleneck everybody behind him. Meanwhile, we got Harris fighting on the outside, fighting with West on the inside.
Oh,
they get together.
trouble.
Contact.
Bloom.
They're wrecking.
Bloom into Brightsman. Brightsman collected. Bloom's at the wall. Daggett crashes. Newton has crashed. They never took the white flag. Caution is out. Will we rack them, restack them, and we will do another attempt at overtime. We did it in the Cup Series on Monday. We do it again for the trucks to close the week at the Magic Mile. Are you not entertained?
I am entertained, but I'm also not surprised at what happened right there. We had a bunch of guys just trying to get everything they could on that last lap. My heart breaks for Sean Brightsman, though. Made what we thought was an outstanding move. Maybe might work out for him with 2 tires. Unfortunately, though, the cautions did not fall his way, and he ends up being part of the last caution here.
Here's the replay. You knew it was bound to happen. Dove in there a little too hard. Cooper got into Brightsman. Brightsman got in to Bloom. Daggett. Newton got collected. I think he hand grenaded his virtual power plant. His night is done as he's riding with Cheech and Chong down the front straightaway. Daggett is. Wow.
You caught me off guard with that one, brother.
Up in smoke, brother. Up in smoke.
Yeah, yes, definitely up in smoke. I tell you what, who didn't want to see that though was Raz, because he knows that's
Anderson's
give Anderson one more shot to come after him. Now, up front we've got
and West
yes.
is right there in the catbird seat also. And guess who's licking his chops, ready to pounce on them and take away the last piece of chicken on the dinner table? And it ain't even the holidays. Frank Harris in the 11.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
I wonder if we're going to see, maybe the 55 of West bump drafting Raz all the way down into turn 1, because that seems to be a prevalent move tonight, is guys pushing the truck in front of them all the way down into the turn. And you know what that's going to do if that happens? That's going to make whoever's getting pushed, the pushee will get shoved so hard into the one they're going to wash up. So we'll keep our eyes on that for this restart. I tell you what, I'm kind of pulling for Harris, man. He got such a bad break early in this race and has had literally to fight and claw and tear his way up into the top 5 tonight.
And by the way, and mind you, by the way, we have had now 10 caution flags in this race. So, yep.
And it ain't over, folks.
10 caution flags in this race. And, the over-under for... Who is that smoking down the racetrack? Is that Troy Daggett? He's just determined to try to finish this race.
Well, he's already used his fast repair up, remember?
He is literally going to carry Cheech and Chong around the track with him.
This is going to be entertaining, folks.
Wow, wow, wow. They're going to come to the line this time by, and they will get the 1 to go indication, which means next time around, green flag. Green, white, checker. Now remember, if they take those CRN 1 to go, last lap ends the race, wreckers or checkers. They'll race back to the flag. If they get a caution before they take the white, which, mind you, John, if you remember, that happened in the Cup race on Monday. That happened Monday night in the Cup race.
Absolutely.
If it happens again, the field is frozen. Based at time of caution, the race is considered official.
So what we're going to watch here, Wesley, on this restart is 2 things here. Watch how quick Raz gets up to speed, and if Anderson can hang on to him going down into turn 1.
Boy, oh boy.
That's going to be the key to this thing for Anderson. Here we go, folks. Bring us to the green here, Wesley.
Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this at the Magic Mile for round 17. The pace car drops onto the pit lane. Green flag flies as they roar through the Geico restart zone. It's Raz. It's Anderson. He'll pull away. Raz to the inside. Anderson on the outside. They got a big lead over Weston Company in 2.
I think that was two teammates talking to each other on that green flag start. They got cleared so fast over everybody. Contact. Here we go.
Is that, oh no, is that Harris? Frank Harris just got turned. Frank Harris involved. I think Ritter's also. Frank Harris just got hit and he spins. Ritter's is involved. His truck is smoking. Ron Hunter can't see. He's blinded by the all the smoke and the oil that's coming all over the windshield. And the caution is out. This race is officially gonna finish with 11 cautions under yellow. And Cole Raz is gonna win this race. Here's your replay of what happened. 3 wide. The 11.
Oh, that was the last caution.
No, that's the last caution, guy. That's the last caution. That's the previous caution. We got to find the one that involved Frank Harris. And such heartbreak for the number 11 of Frank Harris.
Yeah, big time. That's just so upsetting, man.
Wow. Here it is. Watch the 11. Up on the outside, he's got Reynolds to the bottom, and Reynolds just poked him. He got to the driver left and got into him. They made contact. Reynolds then hit Ritters, and Frank Harris nowhere to go. Wow.
That is so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate.
And the race is over.
Yep.
Cole Raz will pick up the win. Raz will take the victory. It will be his 4th win this year. Put him now on the all-time win list for this season of most wins of any other driver in the series. He had already done that with 3. He increases it now at 4. Doing kind of shades of what we've seen Lake Peterson do, who, by the way, was the winner on Monday night in the number 9. John, man, oh man, I just, craziness. I feel bad for Dan West Jr. I feel bad for Frank Harris. And honestly, I think Caden Anderson, he kind of got robbed with a chance to try to come after his teammate there, super friends of Cole Raz, because just getting antsy, guys making contact, and it happens. It happens. What can I say?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm right with you. Frank was looking to have a great rebound tonight, maybe get his first podium. That's what he was looking for tonight. But like I said, it's a rebound. Oh, wow. What a shot right there, huh?
That's Anderson and Raz celebrating. Here's the unofficial results tonight for round 17 of the Northwest Racing Series trucks. And mind you, we still got about 5 weeks left before the playoffs start for the Northwest Truck Series. Not like NASCAR, where they fire up at Lucas Oil tomorrow night. So still more chances to try to get in the round of 12. Cole Raz is the winner. Caden Anderson 2nd. Dan West Jr. 3rd. Brian Reynolds is 4th. Aaron Cooper 5th. Stephen O'Hare 6th. Casey Garber 7th. 8th is Tyler King. And 9th, Toby Ritters. Even though he was smoking, John, still a top 10 finish for the number 9. And Ryan Bloom, the first truck 1 lap down, he'll still get a top 10. So Ritters family, be happy. Toby Ritters still gets a top 10 finish, John.
Absolutely. That's something to be proud of after this fiasco of a race. A lot of cautions, a few of them that really didn't have to happen. Kevin Smith, 11th. Sean Breitzman, what a heartbreaker for Sean. 12th spot. Chris White, 13th. Frank Harris, man, we just talked about him. Had a great run going. 14th. Troy Daggett, 15th. Paul Newton, 16th. Ron Hunter, 17th. And Dennis Moore, 18th. 19th, Tyler Kim, Chris Kamir, Dean Moore, and Carl Burke, will round out the 22 cars we had starting tonight. What a show there, Wesley. What a show.
It certainly was, man. Coming up finish line. Post-race wrap-up, we're going to talk to the top three of Cole Raz, Kanan Anderson, Dan West Jr. We'll get their thoughts of the wild race here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're back in a moment. This is iRacing on LSRTV and simulcast on CRN, the Community Radio Network. Cole Raz picks up his fourth win this year with a wild one in the Magic Mile.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in endorsed series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars, and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone, and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com. This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in endorsed series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars, and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone, and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
New Hampshire Motor Speedway, a wild one. You're watching in slow-mo for those that are tuned into the broadcast coverage of the final restart, the crazy race, the finish. That was round 17 tonight. I'm Wesley Outland, John Muschin Jr. alongside. Awesome work as filling in there on the production side of things for Mason Heimbaugh while Charles Wooten was on assignment for another event, and he definitely produced a, believe it or not, it's a real word, John, humdinger. Before we grab the top three, I'm hopefully I don't get in trouble for this, but I want to bring him in. Frank Harris, you are getting so better and so better and so better at climbing the ladder, staying out of trouble, just got caught up in that little tangle at the end. What did it feel like knowing you were in third, fourth spot and having a chance that you could possibly win the race, bud?
I don't think Frank's back yet.
Frank, you back? Frank, you here, buddy? He's probably so excited he don't. Frank, can you hear us? Frank Harris. Frank Harris, are you there, buddy?
Maybe hang on to him until after the interview.
Strike one, strike two. All right, we're going to bring him back down. Maybe we'll try to bring him in before the end. All right, let's go into the top three, and we'll grab third place. What a job in the race for these guys. And, of course, when it's all said and done, it is the driver of Dan West Jr. finishing in the third spot. Dan, I know you're looking for that first truck win this year. Your take of this wild event, somehow at the end finishing on the podium in third.
I feel like it was a pretty good race. I had a little bit for these guys for Cole and Caden in the beginning of the run, and I kind of set the truck up for that, thinking we'd get more cautions. But once we started rolling on, they would gap on me. So I feel pretty good to get third, to be honest with you.
Dan, I was just about to ask you if that was a setup issue or maybe just your handling on the track at the time. It did seem like towards the end of those long green flag runs, you were just giving up a lot of ground to the leaders. But hey, still, man, third place ain't nothing to shake a stick at.
No, I think I'm very happy, very happy. So I just think we need to check the wrap on those two front trucks.
Got you. Well, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Dan, what can you say about just this competition, man? I mean, it's been a while since we grabbed a word with you, but I mentioned guys like Frank Harris and Toby Ritters and Aaron Cooper and these caliber drivers that used to be somebody you get kind of angry with because they always get wrecked or bring out the caution flags. Now they're kind of now seeing what it's like to Briar Reynolds as well. We'll give him a mention and a nod. They're now knowing what it's like to be able to race in the top 10 and be contenders.
Oh, definitely. They're definitely sniffing the front, but they're putting the work in. I mean, as any of us that run up towards the front, we don't just show up on race night. I mean, unless you're a Sean Brightsman, it seems like. But you got to put a little bit of work in, and these guys are obviously doing that. So it's nice to see that.
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate it, Dan. Before I let you go, buddy, thank your sponsor, sir.
I'd like to thank Effective Web Solutions, Northwest Racing, LSRTV, CRN. Appreciate you guys. Congratulations, Cole.
When it's all said and done, the two-time defending series champion will finish the West Racing Chevrolet in position number 3. Runner-up from Yakima, Washington, the driver, of course, of Caden Anderson in the Harvest Chevrolet truck. Caden, your take of this race. I know, and I always say this, if it comes down to you and Anderson, you're not afraid to bump and bang and give it all you guys got for the win. Was it the tires being used up? Was it the handling going away? What's your take of taking the bridesmaid spot here tonight at the Magic Mile?
Yeah, I feel like we had a really good truck. Me and Cole and Garbage Garage have worked really hard on getting good setups here in the truck series. So I feel like we're progressing and getting a lot quicker here in later stages of the season. And I messed up a couple times on pit road and sped too much and had to go back a couple times, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, I think I just overused my stuff trying to get back to the front and just didn't have nothing for Cole.
Well, you kind of covered my question for me there, Cade, and I was going to ask you about that. When you got the speeding penalties, you had to work your way back up, man. You were passing an average of 2 to 3 cars per lap, and I was just wondering how much life that took out of your car's tires and on that long run.
Yeah, I feel like we had a really good truck that rolled on the bottom, so I was able to use the bottom, and I had to use a little bit of tire, but I don't think it hurt us as much as it would have hurt anybody else. So fortunately, we were able to get back to the front and try to compete there at the end for the win, but just came short.
I segue this question and throw your sponsors out there in closing as well, Caden. What I mentioned about Dan West Jr. And these new drivers, these contenders, Frank Harris's, the Toby Ritters, the Brian Reynolds, the Aaron Coopers that are getting up here and making some fits and battles with you guys. What's your take of that?
Yeah, it's really cool to see new faces and new people up front, and like Briar and Frank. Like I come in and during practice nights, like Briar and Frank are always practicing, and obviously Briar's teamed up with us this year, and so he's learned a lot setup wise, and he's been putting in the laps, and it was good to see both Frank and him running up front today.
Hey, sponsor time, man. See you next week.
Yeah, gotta thank Harvest Chevrolet, Studio 10 Wraps, PTI Transportation, and that's it.
And the driver, Caden Anderson, will settle for the number 2 position. The guy they call Super Friends in the number 37 of the Yakima, Washington. To victory lane we go again now, picking up what would be his 4th win tonight, of course, his 2nd win. The driver now getting 3 wins after they have tallied up everything. The driver of the number 2 in the points. He's 6 points back to Dennis Moore. Now, mind you, Dennis Moore had a not so good night tonight. So this is his 4th win. Cole Raz, congratulations to you. What a crazy, chaotic, interesting, exciting, phenomenal, I don't know what other analogies I can use to express what a race it was tonight at New Hampshire. Congratulations. You survived the battle here at the end of the war.
Thank you, Wesley. I think you used all the analogies you possibly could for tonight, but I feel like we had a really strong truck for the long run, and I think all the boys and Kate Anderson Racing and Garbage Garage put a lot of time into it, and I think it really showed. But Dan West's comments there about our vinyl, we actually don't run vinyl in these trucks. We paint only, so that throws that idea out the window. But really a strong night for us, and really happy with the result.
I love hearing you guys on these interviews, man. It's so refreshing to hear camaraderie and humor. Hey, if my math is right, and there's a big if right there, Cole, you're going to take the points lead tonight with this win over Dennis Moore, finishing 18th tonight, and your teammate Caden Anderson is going to move up into at least third, if I'm not mistaken. Buddy, that's a great race tonight. Talking about this win, you kind of took it over after Caden got the speeding penalty, but you really didn't let go at all after that, except for a couple of guys that gambled on pit road coming out with 2 tires or no tires and whatnot. So at what point did you really realize, hey, I've got this win if I keep my truck straight and narrow?
I feel like it was probably after Caden's second speeding penalty. I think he was the better of the two of us. He's really strong around this place, and I tried to learn as much as I could in the first run we had there. But I think after the damage he got later in the race, I think that hurt him to get around us. So, and this place is tough to pass when you're so even with somebody like that. So, but like you mentioned, for the points, Dennis had his unfortunate luck, which it could happen to any of us at any given night. So. We'll take it with good stride and try and hold on to it for as long as we can here going into the playoffs.
As John mentioned, I am intently, feverishly hitting the reset button, refresh on the point standings to see if they officially update before we go off the air. And right now you're sitting obviously with 4 wins, 1 pole, 11 top 5s, and now 13 top 10s when it updates. The question is, do you go to the top of the board there whenever the everything resets, when they update all that? But I segue my final question, and you thanking your sponsors, Cole, and what I asked Dan and Caden, I'll ask you, what's your thoughts of these new young talent drivers that struggled in the past, getting up here and having the shot to be able to do some things? Because I'll be honest with you, I knew it was going to come down between you or Anderson, but I was kind of rooting for an underdog and Frank Harris to get that first podium finish.
I think an underdog story is always better than the plain old, same old. So I think to see Frank and guys like Breyer run up front, I think it's really good for the series. We were actually joking around when Frank was running around 7th. I'm like, man, the day Frank gets his first win, it's going to be a great day. So, he kept sneaking up, and he was just keeping his nose clean. And, they had some things go on there on the last restart. But it's really cool to see, and the work they put in, it's starting to show results. And I think that'll only push them harder to keep progressing and get better each week. So, it's great for the series. It's great to see young talent like you mentioned. And I think that'll only progress into longer green flag racing for the series, which is a better show for the fans, I think. So big thank you to LSRTV, Northwest Racing, Caden Anderson Racing, Caden Anderson Designs, Wells Johnson, Jefferson Racing, Magnus Rear Ends, McGonigal Race Engines. Everybody helped us out in the real world, the Master Ranch Incorporated, and all the fans tuning in tonight. Thank you.
Caden Anderson, again, teammate there, will settle for second. And the man that gets his 4th win this year, most of everybody this year, the number 10, Cole Raz, another big win for the driver of the number 10. And again, I am still John Mustian in closing, hitting the refresh button,
Me too.
And it has still not updated yet. We'll keep everybody posted abreast of everything as we go into the next race next week. It's on to Indy all next week for iRacing on LSRTV, beginning with the Sim 500 series on Monday night, NC8 One Call Before You Dig Cup series, and then, of course, the Northwest Racing Series Cup on Monday night will follow, and then the trucks next Thursday as well. Join John, Greg Rentz, and Justin Prince along with myself on the call for the races coming up next week. John, always a pleasure, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Your final take of tonight's crazy race at the Magic Mile. It did not disappoint. You saw Cup on Monday night, and then, of course, the finish of this one here tonight, Lake Peterson and both Cole Raz having to win races that had to go into double cautions.
I'll tell you what, not a boring moment at all at this race tonight, really. When you stop and think about not just the cautions, but all the passing, all the driving out there, guys trying to save these trucks. That vicious turn two reached up and bit a lot of guys tonight. We talked about that at the top of the show. I couldn't be happier with the outcome tonight. A little long for us old guys that like to be in bed about 3 hours ago, but that's all right. I'm looking forward to next week, man. Indy, I love me some Indianapolis.
And if you like the Brickyard, the world's greatest race course virtually on iRacing, Monday, Thursday, 3 broadcasts on iRacing on LSRTV. And don't forget, coming up in a couple of Sunday nights as well, the Major Series, Wheat Sport, Big Block Modifieds on dirt. That'll be exciting too. Big thanks to, of course, as always, Charles Wooten. He was off on assignment tonight. Phenomenal job by our colleague and associate producer and director, Mr. Mason Heimbaugh, getting things done, clicking the buttons. Always a pleasure working with him. For Jeff Stabdow, Charles Wooten, Mason Heimbaugh, and everybody with iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network. For John Muschin Jr., I'm Wesley Outland. Good night. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and congratulations to Cole Raz, his 4th win this year after a wild night at the